Blog Talk Radio. I am unmuted. Show you the money. Look at that money.
Where's my money?
Where's the money? Where's my $2?
They gave it to you at the store.
Yes, and I used it to buy cat litter.
There you go.
For Queen Victoria. Hello, everybody out there. Welcome to the Poetic Inklings of Tomorrow, brought to you by A Poetic Slice of Life. Poetic Slice of Life is a group located on allpoetry.com. And we want to thank Kevin and his crew for keeping that site up and running so we have someplace to hang out with our friends, write our poetry, read our poetry, just have a good time. Poetic Slice of Life is owned by my lovely wife and co-host Kay, who's sitting next to me doing her usual multitasking.
Hello.
Hello. And I bet you can't guess who I am.
Who are you, smart aleck?
I am her Wesley, Steven 76. Tonight we are talking about introverts. We have many quotes that my lovely wife Kay found concerning introverts. And we have many, many great poems written. So I just saw the emoji that Wayne put in the room.
Yeah.
Written to to these quotes to read for you tonight. And I should also mention, which I did forget to mention last night, but you mentioned a little later in the show, that any poem that we read tonight that the author is not present to read for, we did receive express written permission from that author to read their work. So without further ado, my sweet. Okay, show's over. Let's let in Wayne. How you doing, Wayne?
Oh, pretty good. How about y'all?
All right.
All right.
I'm in a little bit of a goofy mood tonight, I guess.
Yes, you have that.
Yeah, I heard you saying money. Heard you saying money.
Money.
I'm going to call in, getting free money. Free money. Did you say you're giving everybody $100 to call in, the first 50 callers?
Yeah, you like Monopoly money? I get that.
Yeah.
I wonder what would happen if you was to say that on say first 50 callers get $100. See what happens.
Oh boy. Yeah.
You'd be in
They put an
trouble.
asterisk by it and said, put an asterisk by it and said, oh, I was just joking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they take kindly.
I was just joking, but thanks for calling.
That's what I can say. Well, they'd be mad. They'd be writing poems about you.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That what a tight ass you are.
Yeah. What was it that he said about Cameron?
What?
His ass is so tight.
No. Not so tight. He stuck a diamond
Up his ass. No, if he stuck a lump of coal up his ass, in 2 weeks you'd have a diamond.
Yeah, that's wild. Good analogy. Ferris Bueller.
Get your sponsor pay for it.
Yeah, there you go. Sponsor Kevin.
Yeah, we call that more money than brains.
Yeah, we got another caller in there. Oh, razzle dazzle. If you can get that button.
How you doing?
Hello, Raz.
How you doing, Stephen? Nice to hear from you again tonight. Wayne, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you, man?
Good. Excited to show up for the show. Talk about introverted personalities. That's a tongue twister, right?
Yeah.
A little bit.
If the personality's there, how does it become so inner wise that all that's left is the shell?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be just a choice, too.
Yeah. Well, that's difficult, actually. I don't know, because I've been that way most of the time.
Well, I was that way, and I think there's a poem that we're going to be reading later on where I commented that I, too, was also called the shy boy when I was younger. So I pushed myself to become the little butterfly that I was when I met you.
Yeah.
But I never really was overly happy about it. I definitely prefer when it's just me and you at home. And on the phone with our friends is fun, too.
Oh, yeah. It helps.
Yeah.
I was telling Kay today, I said sometimes I like to put this car in a hole, never to be seen, and the other times I want to be on top of a mountain and make everybody listen to me. So, depends on the mood you're in.
Yeah.
John Lennon tomorrow's never knows. He wanted to perform down on top of a Tibetan mountain, but they had to narrow it down to a kind of distorted microphone.
Yeah. Where did you want to go first, hon?
Well,
Hey, does anybody have to read and run?
Nah, I got an hour at least.
Okay.
Let me do this one.
I have nowhere to go.
Yeah, neither do I.
Well, you kind of have to be here.
Not me. I don't know what you're talking about. All right, so let's see. We're going to read one from Everyone One called Our Lone Acceptance. Excuse me. Cough is almost completely gone. Everyone is a critic, erstwhile an erratic, albeit, as this remains to be, destiny is the swirling of the breezes sent to clear the ground of everything that leads us into the quiet questioning of our Creator, all included of all life. That often breeds our pride, all unbalanced and unannounced, without this power to know only the blind side of our tendentuousness, I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, and varying indifference to our prejudice. Lest this moment, this mighty oak, leaves us to question not, this time that we share in together, foe to foe or friend to friend, no, but to accept this. Yes, let this day, this very moment, be our very proof of this, and our lone acceptance, that leads us all home. End poem. Yeah, I thought these were powerful words. Unfortunately, I think critics hide around pretty much every corner, and we are all guilty of judging every now and then. Of course, some more than others. The trick is to know when you are being judgmental and stop. But I thought this was well done. What did you think, Reyes?
Yeah, everyone has their own inherent flaws, but by the end of the day, you sober up and accept that we're all human. So that underlines the theme of this poem, to just not really quarrel too much and try to understand that anyone can be mistaken, but it doesn't make them less of a person.
Indeed. Excellent comment. What do you think, Wayne?
It's a good poem. It's when it says everyone is a critic and erstwhile an heretic. That's pretty much true. Everybody's got something to say most of the time, and most of the comments usually are like mine are heretic as hell. But it's a good poem. But I didn't get the real gist of it. I don't know what he's trying to say. We shouldn't be quite so criticized quite so much, or we should criticize more. Or at the end of the day, we're just all going to go meet together in heaven. I'm just trying to figure. I can't figure out what he's trying to say exactly. So I'm kind of got lost somewhere in the middle of it. It's a good poem, but I can't figure out what he's wanting to. What you want the end story to be?
Yeah, well, I know. Believe me, I've been there too on some poems.
For what?
Just kind of confused as to which way they were going, what direction they were taking. So yeah,
I know he's a very religious. He's a religious person, so I figured talking about, you live your life, but you got to get together and get together with the Maker one of these days. So
yeah,
I like the poem. He's got good words.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
What did you think, hon?
Well, yeah, I thought this was, as Wayne said, yes, James does bring religion in a lot to his writing. I like the way that he wrote it because, my comment that I said to him, it is true that everyone is a critic and everyone has moments of pride. No one's exempt in life from that. But as I told him to, acceptance of everything in life is key, or else one will not flourish the way that they need to. Open mind lead to open heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
It
Excellent
helps.
comment. Yes, it does.
You got to try to embrace that, or else it's not going to work.
True.
I know.
I can help.
Yeah? You're being smart at it.
I am.
I know.
Mm-hmm. The Force. I can help the Force.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Just quoting Untouchables.
I know you are.
Wayne, your poem's in there.
Yes, I see. There it is. I reckon I better read the thing before it gets away. So it goes. See, get it. All right. This poem's called "I'm Never Alone." I'm never alone when nobody's here. Everything's peaceful, my vision clear. There's so much confusion in society, shatters my existence with anxiety. Cruel, mean, always one to hurt. Don't mind a bit being an introvert. Why they insist, me being on their level? Must I look into the eyes of the devil? At times hate to hear the phone ring. Would rather think, cry, laugh, or sing. You don't even know what it's like what you have to say. Hate the way you yell when you're not getting your way. The comfort I feel, satisfaction in my soul, telling your eyes, you'll never know. Lay here with a smile, having plenty of rest. Why does every second have to be a test? Don't like the tenderness, having to compete. Rather listen to my heart in my quiet retreat. Crowds are so loud and people are annoying. Listening to the masses is totally boring. Every second, someone's demanding I look. Rather bury myself in an educational book. Take life easy. relax with my cat, and live slow. Not mad at you, but you know, you have to go. Ian.
I like that. Yes, please. You have to go. Get the hell out of here.
Hey man, but you gotta go.
This is great. Yeah, I have to agree with so much of the words in here because there are so many days that, like I had said in my comment, that Kay and I just wish the world would just leave us alone and just let us hole up here in the living room and be by ourselves. And yeah, like you said, I hate when I hear the phone ring or it's like, yeah, just leave me alone, damn it.
That's it. You gotta go.
This is awesome, Wayne.
Thank you.
What do you think, Raz?
Yeah, sometimes you just have to be on your own by yourself in order to achieve utter peace from all the chaos there is in the world. And the narrator advises that a bit of quiet and peace can go a long way to establishing a kind of interconnection with the very basis of the universe in which you're balanced again psychologically. It can be healthy, and it can certainly be more of a fulfilling experience than having to face certain unwarranted problems from society. Like you said about you and Kay needing time to rest. Everybody does. I like the poem.
Thank you very much. Yeah, you can get out public and there's a lot of anxiety out there.
Oh yeah. Yes, there is.
There is.
What do you think of Wayne's right, hon?
Well, there's definitely aspects I can relate to. So the thing is, I actually am that person who sometimes will dread the phone ring, especially if I know who's calling, because I've had those times in the past of certain family members. Now, I love my niece. There's little chatty Cathy's, and sometimes I've been known to say, damn it, because it means I'll be on the phone for an hour. And it's sometimes my time is so valuable, and it's hard to give up my time sometimes. So, yeah, I'm definitely that person who cringes when my phone makes a vibrating sound because I'm not sure who it is. There's certain people that do talk to me, they talk for a while. And sometimes I think, I ain't got time for this right now. But yet I will give you the time. I will. Well, still in the back of my head saying, you don't have time for this.
I could tell you a story about how introverted we are.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. When somebody knocks on the door.
Oh, I ignore it.
We get really quiet. Sneak over to the window to peek out to see if it's somebody we know.
I got a rule in my house. Nobody comes visit me except the kids unless they call first. But the kids can walk in. But nobody else even allows my house unless they call first. And then I don't answer the phone.
Yeah. I don't answer the phone if I don't recognize the number. I do not answer it.
Well, I know, but
and if you don't leave me a voicemail, I will not call you back.
Well, sometimes even when family does get a hold of us, we wait till later.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like when our parents get a hold of us, sometimes it's like, not now.
Yeah, not now. If they leave a message and it's not important, okay, I'll call back in a little while.
Yeah, I know. We're weirdos, but yeah, we like to be left alone.
Yes, we do.
But you're right, Wayne. I love it all around. I love your style here because
I have no one to call back. There's just telemarketers and robocalls. So that's all there is on answering.
Yep.
Machine.
A lot of times.
A lot of the time, yeah.
And you know what they can kiss.
Well.
Oh man.
Rosebud.
Wait till you get 65. Everybody's got something to say to you. It brings all day long. You got Medicare. You need this right here. You need a supplement. You need this. Leave me alone.
You already are starting to get mail like that.
Yeah, no, I'm starting to get the AARP mail.
Or sometimes about hearing loss, hearing aids too.
Oh yeah, and the pain relieving knee brace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're already right there.
Yeah, I need global life insurance. Some of my mail, but I mean, I'm hardly 40. I don't know if I'm ready for that kind of commitment yet.
Yeah.
Oh, you always need life insurance.
Yeah.
Crazy people out there.
Know. There are.
Sometimes.
Sometimes they're knocking at your door too. That's why we also have it memorized where every squeak in the floor is, so we don't step on the squeaks on the way to the window to peek.
You know, those crazy people are.
Yeah, I got no soliciting sign on my door. Come to my door.
Yeah, what? I'm sorry.
And no soliciting sign on my door. You're not allowed to come to my door. So some still don't come here.
Yeah, I should.
They
So
even
they
try
listen?
different numbers throughout the states and other countries, and yet it's not telemarketing harassment. I mean, I don't see how anybody works that out by the end of the day, including the Department of Justice.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's true.
And if you try to call back, all you hear is a ringtone. So that was definitely not a suspicious call to respond, right?
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
They have their own catchy ways.
Mhm.
They do.
Well, I know. I used to work for a company that had a cell phone that you could change the phone number on.
Yeah, I know, because you worked for a debt collection place.
Yeah, and I hated it. I hated every minute of it.
That's what you call me.
That's like playing both sides of the law, being a telemarketer, Steve.
Oh, I was bad though. I was bad at my job.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was a loan place, and sometimes these people would come in, and I would assess their situation, and we didn't do credit checks or nothing. We just give you the money.
Yeah.
But the payment, it was a title loan, and the payment was always so high that you couldn't make the payment, so we would come and get your car in a month. So there were so many people that I would tell them, you do not want this. Go somewhere else. You do not want this loan.
Yeah.
If I called him, I'd say, "Do I have to come over or what?"
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
You know what you just need a pit bull on your porch. That will stop all solicitors.
It could.
Yep.
It could.
I'm at your front door right now, Steve. You can either bring out your gun or we can go on talking.
Get him, Raz.
That's terrible. You see the can of worms you opened up.
Oh, yeah, that's fun. All right, where did you want to go? You want to get back into poetry?
Well, yeah, I just wanted to say to Wayne real quick, I do love his right. I love all the elements that you brought in there because it definitely speaks to what I have as well, what I practice every day. Because I'm happy with just my cats and the solitude. And when you're gone, the house is quiet. TV's off. It's just me and the cats. I bore them to death because it's so quiet that they sleep mostly.
Yeah. When I come in and I just throw a whole monkey wrench in it, and they all wake up and start running around and tearing the place apart.
Something like that.
Cats are more introverted than dogs. They have a very quiet, peaceful existence, being their soul keepers.
Yeah.
They are.
Yes, they are.
They are. They're lovable like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great though, Wayne. I appreciate you bringing that.
Forget trying to pet a cat. I mean, with a dog, and anyways, the tongue's going to be slobbering you. They want more attention, physical touch. But with a cat, you may as well have to work it two ways if you're going to receive any of that kitty love.
Lucky.
Yeah.
A dog I've never seen you before. Every time I see you, well, I never seen you before. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I know. Our old dog was very lovable.
Strider.
Yeah, he would always want to lick your face. I didn't go for that.
Yeah.
But he was lovable.
He was.
Yeah.
See my butt? See my butt? See my butt? Look at my tail. Look at my tail.
Well, yeah. He liked to show his backside and wag his tail, his nub.
Yeah.
To show you he's happy.
Yeah, his tail was bobbed, so he just had a little nub that shook back and forth really fast.
Yeah.
Pet my cat. I gotta go hunt for my cat. I think I pet my cat. I gotta look half hard to find it.
Yeah.
It was like the film we had yesterday of James and his cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where did you want to go, hon?
You feel like reading.
What do you want me to read?
You dropped something in the topics folder.
Oh, sure. I'll read.
So I'm just asking you.
I can read.
Okay. And then after you, we'll get rid.
I know how to read.
I know you know how to read.
All right, cool.
Just ask it if you wanted to.
This is called...
KC.
This is called Alone in the Crowd Smiling. And I went with the quote, I'm never lonely when I'm on my own, but sometimes I feel lonely in a crowd. On the field, padded and protected from physical damage, friends all around, but feeling quite alone. They don't know what happened, don't know what he was forced to do, knowing of all the shame he felt deep inside. And they will never, he vows, not one single person in his life will ever know. Carrying this horrible secret to his grave, never realizing just how holding this in will drive those he holds dearest away. How it will create a monster deep in his belly that will try to break out time after time. How could he? He is just a boy. So he smiles and pretends it never happened. End poem.
Yeah. I'll reserve your comment. Thank you, Raz. Or not, I'm sorry. What do you think, Raz? I'm sorry. Thank you, Stephen. I'm sorry, my brain. I'm sorry. It's been a long day.
This is like being
think,
caught that you're in love with a neighbor's wife or someone who otherwise it would be socially non-adequate for others to find out. So you kind of bear down the shame and then move on, but know that that thought had been there and there's regret while you're sort of too humiliated by ever thinking so to even know where to begin again. I mean, those kinds of moments is what I saw in the poem.
Thank you, Raz.
What do you think, Wayne?
Poem reminds me of like there's a lot of people in the world that had an event in their life happen that caused them to become introverted and quiet and retreat from society. And it's usually a big event that will cause that sad event, and they just can't get over it, so they just kind of go in their own little shell and don't come back out. And the way the poem started out, that's kind of what it kind of made me like. He had a horrible secret. He just wanted to withdraw from everybody and not tell them what's going on. It's a good poem, and it has a lot of meaning to it. So I like it.
Thank you, Wayne.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a lot of people that become introverted by just an event that they couldn't handle, and they just get real quiet and they just don't talk no more?
Mm-hmm.
That is true. There are those moments that sometimes changes a person, especially how they live their life too. You know, the lifestyle they embrace. But I'll be a little bit of a smart aleck to brighten the mood a little bit.
Okay.
I'll go off on Raz's comments a little bit. Come out swinging. Do you like that?
Yeah.
Okay. To lighten the mood. I know I don't need to sing much more than that because I talk to you all the time.
Yes, you do. I would hope that we talk a lot.
Or we'd be in trouble.
Yeah, we would be. Raz, your poem is on the board.
Yeah, I'm ready to read my poem. Alone and because. Alone and by herself, Madeline Stravinsky withdraws leisure in the data application programs the smart tablet propagates for modern gross product. Time passes immersing the intellectual mind in the strange idling of the written words. They are the scribbling aesthetic quality to outdated philosophies on formalities being beautiful. Mistreated children yelling for psychological help in the backyards, disturbed of the years to come with the tall shadow man who is even stilted to the separating lawn fence, and the fierce, malnourished temper, as long as the parent's neglect is the unwarranted supervision's mentor. Alone, and because of herself, Madeline Stravinsky trues location transportation to the city library and Metropolitan Museum. For magnificent are the artworks left behind to indulge the higher senses, glimpse of man's legacy, remnant of sculpture, clay hard and embracing, the thought of history, forged, impregnable, dominant, like the million-year fossil remains found in the Colorado Basin. The passengers on the bus are all worn weary, crunching to occupy limited capacity in space, working the foundation for human happiness, are drained from the hours spent on the hard times flayed. She notices only the relevant distance of the mind of the few women that are quietly weeping, the laborious skilled servicemen who have exhausted eyes, too painfully battered at constriction sights to mourn of sadness and the deteriorated mortal strain. Always alone and by herself, Madeline Stravinsky spends an entire year never leaving the house because of the news report, which indicate gang-related shootings and third-degree assaults for the random pedestrians who try the crazies that have never been known of driving over 50 miles an hour at used street sign crossing conjunctions, at least unless they leave behind flower sidewalks. She hears through a phone call from a distant relative that her mother, who suffered from Alzheimer's disease, died in a hospice home because the oxygen tank was cut from supplies by the registered nurses that were meant of protecting the interests of the patients. I can't remember ever speaking, but a word to the said mother. Drops the phone, goes back into the head where people never talk to solve problems. And poem.
Beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, this one's very powerful. This what you wrote about here, in my opinion, Raz, is a case of an introvert to the extreme. And I do know, I've even seen like on television, that there are people out there who shy away completely from society because of a fear that is served up to their psyche by the news on the radio or the television, constantly showing them how terrible it is outside.
Yeah.
And they fear even taking one step outside could end up resulting in their death. It's a truly sad situation. But yeah, I mean, to pen yourself up to the point where you don't even get to say goodbye to your mother before she passes away, it's just a sad situation. Powerful, right? I do have a question for you before I get another comment for you, though. The tall shadow man. Were you talking about Slender Man?
Yeah, that's reference to Slender Man. How did you know that?
I remember seeing a documentary about him at one point. So just curious if that's what you were going with. Pretty cool. Excellent, right?
It's the actual rumor in the poem, but there's other subliminal messages. I mean, as you can see, the whole style and rhythm is like Chekhov, but we're in 2020.
Mm.
The Russian writer
of
drama. Yeah. He's known mostly for being straightforward about tragedy. His entire writing style from the 1800 period, of which I'm kind of paying homage to him in the poem.
Awesome. Very cool. Let's get you some more comments. Wayne, what did you think?
Well, it's a great poem. I like it's like I was saying a while ago. There's a lot of people that can't handle the events of the world, and they just close themselves off. And a lot of times it's just out of a fear more than it is a reality. And once they're scared to mingle, they got a horrible life to live. They just sit there and basically by themselves forever. And this poem puts it out just perfectly. And even when like her mom dying. Man, that's terrible enough to go back into reclusion. He feels like he's going to go out and do something about it. I'd want to go out and try to change the world instead of just going into seclusion. So it's a good poem, and I like it. Russ, you did a good job on this one.
Yeah, it's one of the shocking realities of how we kind of distance ourselves from the rest of the world sometimes, and that's a startling number of the population. No choice but society. So I decided on that being one of the subheadings, not just sadness.
Awesome. What do you think, hon?
Yeah, it made me think when you were talking about the fear of leaving the house, of that fear, agoraphobia. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, because phobia where it leads to its own panic and panic attacks about leaving the house, where you essentially just don't leave your home, and that becomes your everything because you're afraid to leave.
Yeah.
The rite itself, it definitely carries its own element too. Yeah. I mean, I've never known anybody personally who's been too afraid to leave the house. I've only seen those storylines actually on TV, but to be so afraid to want to leave and you miss out on certain things, that has to be very hard, actually, especially missing on saying goodbye to loved ones and not being around loved ones.
Yeah. Especially when in your poem it's apparently what's the word I'm looking for, where the nurse screwed up.
Yeah.
So there's a word though.
My
brain's not working. Yeah, so I mean she should have been able to get out there and do something about that in some way, but instead she retreated back into her own mind and that was that.
Sit there and think about it all day long. They should be there all by herself thinking about it all day long. That'd be terrible. You got to get up and get it off the shoulders anyway, it seems like. But that's the way people are.
It was this hypothetical person's decision, and it does happen in the real world. Madam Stravinsky or Madeline.
I could lighten up the mood, though, if you want.
I don't know.
I could just because, I was just thinking of, in the Navy, the head is the bathroom, so she retreated to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Because people never talk in the bathroom or solve problems in the bathroom. They just use the bathroom.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm sorry. I'm
Be
sorry.
a sad, stinky world.
There you go. No, but Raz, this is very, very well done. Very powerful.
It is.
Thanks.
And which one did he write to? Did you put it in his hand, the picture?
The theme of the night, introverted personalities.
Just the theme of the night.
Oh.
Cool.
Great, right?
Yes, indeed. Where did you want to go?
Okay. I have 2 sound clouds tonight, so I'm going to do the first sound cloud. And before I drop it down, I just want to look at my reference here real quick. Okay. 4 and 7. Let me look at that. And see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I have a sound cloud that I'm going to do first by Farouk Hassan, but he wrote 2 quote prompts. And the first one being, I am an introvert. It doesn't mean I'm shy necessarily. It does mean the inner world of my own mind. It's important to me that I gain energy from being alone, and I like to think and explore my thoughts. And the next is, I am an old soul. I love genuine kindness. I love compassion. I love poetry. I love old connections. I love old books, deep conversations. I love depth and raw. And let me drop this in the room and get the sound cloud up.
And then we get to find out if we've been pronouncing his name right.
Well, this is the first time he gave a sound cloud, so I'm grateful for that. So maybe he'll do that for future shows since he takes part in this. Here we go.
Essential Interaction by Farouk A. Hassan. Sitting silently with pressure on eyes, bringing tears, escaping the life, seeing around to find nothing but silence. Noises from nature makes you aware. Don't you see, don't you know? Persons and dreams are distinctive. I can recognize your very essentiality, yet you can never found me worthy. Why is your jealousy denying me? Accretion is the boat you arrive in. Lamination is your tool for my demise. Evidently, secrecy is not my vice. You don't know, never you had. Even a lost leaf knows this throughout. Everything is of importance in life. both an introvert and an extrovert. End poem.
So they even said end poem. I like that. Yeah, I thought this was pretty cool. I thought the way you ended it, both an introvert and an extrovert, everything is important in life.
Yeah.
And it is indeed possible to kind of be both, depending on the given situation. Kay and I, of course, consider ourselves to be introverts. But when I go to work, I am comfortable interacting with many people as I have to, although I do feel that it's a mask that I just kind of put on, put the fake smile on, and act like I'm happy to see them. But I thought that this was an excellent write. Raz, what did you think?
He brings up the kind of karmic balance there is within the universe and the interactions of different individual lives, where if you analyze things in depth, you find that there's an internal side as well as the exterior of which you confront when interacting with other human beings. And that's a kind of sociological and spiritual touch which is very profound but hard to fully process. I like that about Baruch's poem.
Awesome comment. Wayne, what do you think?
I think he did a good job at SoundCloud. He had a great voice. I figured he had that accent, but he read real clear and real good. And he always has good poems. I like his poems too. And I like the way his poem. Here's the way he kind of brings everything out and makes everybody that no matter what the problem is, if whether you're an introvert or extrovert, everybody's got problems, and everybody should be considered. And so I think he kind of brings everybody together, and everybody's important. But extroverts to me sometimes can be too loud and bossy, and introverts can be too quiet, and you just wonder what they're thinking. So I like it a different way. Like, I don't like either one of them, to be honest with you. He likes both of them. I don't cover either one. I like somebody just on the even keel. But it's a good poem. Very good poem.
Excellent comment. What do you think, hon?
Well, I like this. I haven't commented on it yet. I thought I did, so I'm going to have to do that. But I like the way it ends because the fourth stanza, why is your jealousy denying me? And then it sounds like they're talking to another person when they talk about how this one person, they want to try to, break somebody or bring them down. And then saying, well, evidently secrecy is not my vice. But the ending, it really sticks out to me. It really does. Especially a line, even a lost leaf knows this throughout, that everything is of importance in life. I like that because that is true. It reminds me of something that I read earlier today as well from Joseph Moon, how everything has a purpose. If you stop and look, because it's true. There is life to everything. There's a purpose. And there is an importance as well. And, even with human life and the people that we let in as well, we should all be treated with respect. And we should be mindful of that. And also, with just little things too, in nature as well, just all around. I see a lot going on in the Word, but I want, after the show, when I'm alone tonight, I just sit with this because this one, I'm picking up on different things. And I want to sit with the quiet to pick it up a little bit more. But I think this is a great way.
The single leaf is connected to all of matter. What does that say about human beings? I mean, we're also matter.
Yeah.
So there's a deeper touch there, which I meant about the poem being spiritual.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just know what you meant by that. It means after the show I have to be quiet for a while.
No.
I know.
I mean, when we're in bed and we're doing our thing, it's just sometimes I have to sit here in the quiet when I'm commenting, or else the outside noise is going to break my distraction.
I
can't
know.
Straight. So I need quiet to think.
I know. I'm the same way when I'm reading and commenting. I need quiet.
It's important.
She'll be like, yeah. She'll be like Morgan Downey Jr. on me, telling me, zip it.
I do not feel
No,
like
you don't.
that.
I know.
You sound like a terrible person.
I'm just playing.
I used to tell my wife, I said, hey, you got to take a breath sometime.
Yeah.
Oh. Sweet Pea?
Yep, she just walked in the door. Just like that.
How about
All
that?
on the board, and now she's here.
Yeah. How about that? That was like amazing.
Oh, I'm sorry. I put my poem in the wrong room.
How you doing, Sweet Pea?
I think I did. Hello. I put it in the group messages and not to Kay's. I'm so sorry. Ignore that.
Oh, that's all right.
Ignore it.
You dropped it right on it. You don't want to. You want to read this one?
Out.
Well, I don't know where you're at or anything, and you know.
Well, you just dropped it right in the room, which is fine. That's...
Yeah.
Which I know, but I hadn't even said hello, so that's kind of rude. Hey, here's my poem, everybody.
Here's my poem. Here I am. I'm going to get out.
I thought that was pretty, I thought it was pretty kind of pretty amazing. I looked at the board and I see Sweet Pea. I was like, wait a minute.
I heard it out.
No, I was supposed to go in Kay's box and send to Kay, so I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Read it. I want to hear it now.
Is that a 12-foot tall man who's dressed up as Tin inside of the profile? I mean, I don't even understand what that photo means, but I don't think I wanted to be there during the birthday party.
I'm in the wrong room.
I'm in the wrong room too, but I just got here, so maybe it is.
This is the right room.
Well, if she wants to read next, you can.
Yeah, if you want to read, since it's on the board, or if you want to wait, you can do that too. It's up to you.
What's on the board? Let her read.
Yes, Kay. I'm so sorry, Kay. I feel so bad, Kay.
As I said, let the woman read.
Such a boss.
Let the woman read.
It's not the way it was supposed to be. Hello, everyone. How's your night going?
Hello, Sweet Pea.
Sweet.
Oh, my God. So unlike me. Talk about extroverts. Anyway. Okay. So this is X minus N equals me. Extrovert moments. I have no filter. Things are hard to hide. I spew them out in sarcasm laced in nasty wit. My backward way. High respect. Introvert moments. In a quiet moment I reflect. Analyst of my own lack of self-restraint. Do they not know that I had their courage? Anxiety moments. Fearing rejection, craving attention. Woman on the outside, insecure child inside. Playing on the swings. Flying up, rush of the high. Pit in the stomach, low. Should I giggle or should I cry? I never meant to hurt introverts, outshine extroverts. Anxiety tells me lies. I am just I. End poem.
Wow. This is very cool. And we were just discussing the fact that, sometimes people can be both mixed into one depending on the situation. And that's what I'm seeing here. Sometimes you get put in the right situation. Yeah, sometimes I can be a little outspoken, I guess, too.
Yeah.
But most of the time, I tend to be quiet. And so, if I'm in a very comfortable situation, like say on one of our radio shows, then I'm very outspoken. And so are you.
Yep. Yes. Yes, I am.
But this is very cool. Anxiety moments. These are ones that definitely ring true and are very relatable. Fearing rejection, craving attention. I'll say man on the outside, insecure child on the inside. Yeah, not knowing whether I should giggle or cry. This is just very well written, Sweet Pea. Thank you for bringing this.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Get some comments for you. Raz, what do you think?
Yeah, if I analyze what's meant by anxiety, what I would read into this poem is that people can become overly analytical, pondering what a situation might mean until you have the ending that you have to accept that you're simply just yourself and perhaps do not know everybody else's inner motives in their heads. So that's what I received back from the poem. Good right, Sweet Pea.
Thank you.
And Wayne, what'd you think?
I thought it was perfect. Everyone can be any one of the feelings at any time. You can be extrovert or introvert. And the feelings are, you said each one of them perfectly. How you feel? Everybody feels the same way when their anxiety approaches. Whenever they're extroverted, they say things they shouldn't say. And I'm very extroverted. When somebody pisses me off, I'm extremely extroverted. I go out and start screaming and hollering and yelling. And I'm very introverted. I'm introverted on cool, lazy spring days. I like to curl up and be by myself and enjoy that too. So it's a great poem, and you're right about everything you said in that poem. It's a good poem.
Thank you, Wayne.
I like that comment.
Don't make me mad. Don't make me mad.
Don't make me mad.
You wouldn't like me when I'm mad.
Yeah. Don't make me angry, Mr. McGee. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Yeah, like the Incredible Hulk.
Hulk, yep. Don't make me Hulk out.
I become Lou Ferrigno.
Oh.
You might love me when I'm mad.
What'd you say?
Sure.
Well, I don't know how I can make a comment after Wayne, but here I go a little bit serious because it's true. We all have a little bit from both angles. And I like how you described it because, in my comment that I'm leaving, I said at home, I am the extrovert. I'm loud, I'm outspoken, and in the right light on the right day, I have a pouty mouth to boot.
Oh, yes, she does.
I do. But when I'm around others, I'm reserved because I feel that's the only way I should be. When I'm around others, I'm the wallflower who keeps quiet, and I kind of flip. I mingle just enough to have my foot in the door, and then I sneak back out. Because it's obvious I'm real comfortable around you, so you see the teeth and bones of it all.
Mm-hmm.
But, you definitely described it well because, as I said, too, that some days I wake up and I just want to cry, and I think to myself, where the heck did that come from? And it kind of lingers the entire day. So you definitely caught the mindset very well from both angles. It's a great day.
Thank you.
But, Wayne's comment was great.
Oh, yeah. It made me want to watch the Hulk.
The old series.
Yes. The old series with, what's his name?
Oh, my gosh.
I can picture
Bill
him.
Paxton.
Bill Bixby.
Bill Bixby.
Yeah,
Bill
Bixby,
Bixby.
okay.
Yeah.
It was Bill.
Yeah. Bill Bixby and Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah. That's quite duality because Bill Bixby was a skinny man, but then Lou Ferrigno was this big hulking man.
Yeah, that's why his clothes all ripped off except for that one strategic part of his pants.
That's because it was skinny. He had to keep it clean.
That would piss me off.
That the rest
What
of
a
him grew
squeeze.
except that one strategic part.
That part decreases the more aggressive and violent person might reach.
That one piece stays the same.
Damn it.
Needs to stay the same. You don't want to offend anybody.
Sure.
That's right.
Well, one woman would want to just green anyway.
He's green till he looks down, then he turns kind of red.
Yeah.
A Vulcan.
Richard Bannon, Stephen Bannon.
They wouldn't be saying that ain't ripe yet.
Hey, Rich.
What you do
See
to me?
when I start. See, this is why I get in trouble.
Great.
It is.
You ever notice the Hulk's hand? The Hulk's hand has little stubby fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I love it when we get off subject.
Sorry.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's what makes it fun.
Yeah, guys, I swear.
Where do you want to go from there, hon?
I will read from our contest silver winner.
Okay.
She's not a member, but I did get permission to read. So let me grab my tablet so I can lean over here and read.
I think this quote might have been the most popular one to write to.
Well, every time for every show there is one that stands out more than the rest.
Because she wrote to I am an old soul. I love genuine kindness. I love compassion. I love poetry. I love soul connection. I love old books. I love deep conversations. I love depth. And I love rawness.
Yeah.
I prefer my steak to be like a medium.
I know. Oh, my Alec. Okay, smart aleck. This is by Colab, and this is called an ambivert testimonial. I once was part of the maddening crowd, the brouhaha, even capable of being loud. But all this, in small to moderate dose, as my tongue can only utter truth. I'm polished but glinting with symphonia. The social butterfly flits away after a short public exposure, a manifestation of its DNA. Necessary vitamins, sun rays. I return to my alcove to my dog-eared prowess, and kowtow to my daily poetry prayers. My belly rubbed of a quiet conversation, taking roots beneath the glitter and the bling-bling. You'll find my Chinese Buddha, its ivory sheen, glimmering with glee, way above the cedar trees.
Awesome. Yeah, I like this. I thought this was well done. As we discussed earlier, I pushed myself at one point where I used to be a social butterfly, always at the parties. But now I am so much happier with my quiet evenings with you here at home, just me and you, sitting and writing and reading poetry. This is an excellent write, and congrats on the silver tour. And she said, sorry, I didn't even check that I got a silver. She didn't even realize it until I said that. That's funny. Raz, what do you think?
Yeah, here you have a good example of modernism, where the poet describes the flight of passage in time through different levels of imagery, which is symbolic. There's the thought of the butterfly finally becoming a form of DNA, but only in the sense that sunlight, which in abstraction can feed that life into the light. And then from there, prayers are no more than poems, just like the final image of a green Chinese Buddha, which is on top of the cedar tops. When you look at this in a kind of analytical way, what you receive back is modernism touching so much on the surreal and expressing yourself simply through metaphor, which is the point and purpose of the poem. This individual is obviously someone who is well-read and thinks of the world in the manner of the abstract and the surreal when personifying themselves, which is another touch of modernism. Good right. By Mrs. Rosanna Sam.
Excellent comment. Wayne, what did you think? Unless Wayne is...
I was muted. I'm muted. I'm back. Okay, so I think it's excellent. Are you there? Hello? Yeah, I think it's an excellent poem. Okay, I believe all poets basically are introverts, by instinctively introverts, because they got to be by themselves. Usually they write poetry, so they're usually introverted, no matter if they write extroverted type poems or not, because they got that alone time. And usually the younger person is, the more extroverted they are. It's kind of like what Raz was saying. When you're young, you kind of learn not to. You learn it's no fun putting your foot out your mouth. So you kind of, if you get older, you're a little quieter and more introverted, and you listen more. Until you hit about 65, And then you can be extroverted and everybody accepts you anyway. You can say anything you want to when you get old, and then nobody don't care. They say, oh, he's old, don't worry about him. So
I'd like to get out of jail free.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of salts of words. You want to sweep that away like the sand by the ocean side.
Yep. Yeah, when I was younger, I was around about 1,000 guys. And going to college, there was 1,000 of us running around together. And boy, now I wouldn't have them around me for nothing.
Yeah, I used to party it up when I was younger too.
Yes, you did.
Sweet Pea, what did you think of Collapse Right?
I think the imagery just brings me to a sense of peace, like a place of peace, a place where, you know, you want to be. But what I think is really important is that she really does mention that she does go out and she does expose herself to the public, and it's in a moderate dose. But, you know, there's a difference between being introverted and being absolutely afraid to even interact with humankind or with things that are going on outside. And I think there's got to be always a balance. I know a lot of introverts that love to party together, and I know a lot of extroverts, which in all reality I am and always have been, that, you know, enjoy getting their sense of poetry from the life that they live, the life that they go out and, you know, make happen, or the situations they're in because they're out in this crazy ass world. But I mean, I'm so far from being introverted. It's kind of crazy unless I am sitting at my computer reading, or I need my quiet time. That's why I don't believe in the 100% either way. But
yeah,
I loved the way this was written.
Yeah, excellent comment. I really like the way she talked about her belly rubs with some quiet conversation. You know, okay, that's enough. No, I kind of like that metaphor a lot. What'd you think, hon?
Yeah, I did like that metaphor too, because the thing is, I do enjoy conversations that have intelligence to them, but also have depth. Because there are people that I talk to, and I have very intellectual conversations, and those are usually the ones that kind of fill my soul a little bit more than just the, you know, mindless, sometimes chit-chat or like the frivolous stuff, because even though I'm a girl, I'm not really a girly girl. I talk about glitter, but it doesn't mean I'm a girly girl, even though I like glitter. So for me, I like the intelligent conversations a lot. I like to be able to laugh. So there's certain things that, you know, definitely touch the soul more than others. So this one really did speak to me, because she spoke of the quote well, because it embodies also things that, you know, are about me too. Because as I said in my comment, I am always a wallflower. I'm here in doses, but flitting, as I say. I mingle a little bit before going back into the shadows. That is where my true comfort usually is to begin with. But I still, you know, behind, you know, in the shadows, I talk to many, and I'm comfortable with just that too. But as I told her too, that I too these days find myself only speaking truth, which is another reason why I stay quiet a lot, because I know a lot of people see my personality as colder and different, so I just try to stay away from a lot of different elements anymore, so that way I don't, you know, open my mouth. Her right really did speak to me. It really did. It captured so much of, you know, the quote qualities that I embody too. It's a great write. It really was. And I'm glad that she gave consent to read for tonight. She was actually one of the first few that was on the spot with that, so I appreciate that too.
Yes. Yes. I don't think you're cold and indifferent.
Well, you love me and you live with me, so you see, but I know there's people that think I'm just cold.
Okay, well then, Kay, you can only be a shadow if your bright light shines upon you. So you're never just in the shadows.
Well, that's true. If I still flit.
repeating the lines to Paul McCartney's Yesterday. You know, I'm just a shadow of what I used to be. Love was such a quiet game to play.
Oh, I just lost another hair.
So far away.
I don't remember the words to Yesterday. That must have been Yesterday.
All my troubles seem so far away.
They're here to stay.
Yeah.
Oh,
I believe
yesterday.
I don't sing.
I'm not half the man I used to be. There's a shadow hanging over me.
Mm-hmm. I think
Jasker wants to go to bed, so we probably ought to read his poem.
I'll have you read it. He's got FPP.
Oh, this one was an FPP?
Yeah, he just got it.
Awesome. Congrats to Jasker for the front page pick on this poem called I Am the One. And it goes like this. I am alone in the crowd, yet I am the world. When I see some smiling face, I also want to become a peony, which is a flower that has healing powers. But I never let anyone shed a single drop of tear. I hesitate to compliment a girl's glowing beauty, but I treat them with respect and promise to keep my wife like a queen. I don't know how to express my love to people, but I make earnest efforts to keep their hearts beating like a child. I don't have any friends, but can read people's minds and know how to help because I talk to trees and animals who speak the language of the gods. This world doesn't understand. I have a life which they exploit to their whims and fancies by raising their voices and some their hands. Just because I don't fight back doesn't mean I am weak. I will answer by becoming one day you'll all want to be. I want to have a soulmate who understands my silence without uttering a word, and work hard in silence until my success becomes my roar. I'm alone in the crowd, yet I am the world. End poem. Hi.
The quote at the bottom, did you say which one was?
The quote that he wrote to, I am never lonely when I'm on my own, but sometimes I feel lonely in a crowd. Same one I wrote to. Yeah. I thought that these were powerful words. Having a soulmate is the ultimate goal of most, I think. And to this I say not to worry because I think that soulmates are destined to meet and nothing will stop it from happening. They're just kind of drawn to each other. But I really like how he ended this. I like the working in silence until his success becomes his roar. I thought that was very powerful and very empowering. This was an excellent write. Once again, congrats on the FPP Jask. What did you think, Raz?
Yeah, here you have the individual who knows that there's a collective, the entire rest of the species, of which otherwise there would not be the world. So if you subtract the one individual, you would have one less to the world. And in that strength, the writer insisting that they are the one means that we live in one true world. That's what I read in the poem. Thanks, Jaskrin.
Excellent comment. Wayne, what do you think?
I think it's a beautiful poem. It's real deep, and it's a true poem. I like the best part, I think, in the poem is when he says, I don't have any friends, but I can read people's minds, and I know how to help because I talk to trees and animals and who speaks the language of the gods. So it's a deep statement right there. He's never alone because he's with he can talk to the trees and the gods and animals, and that's what I feel like I am too. I talk to everyone myself I talk to, and I feel like I'm always got company around me. So it's a pretty deep poem.
Yes, indeed. And Sweet Pea, what do you think?
I think this is pretty deep and amazing. I mean, I work hard in silence until my success becomes my roar. I worked very, very hard in my life, and a lot of people, now are just like, well, they have this idea that you're handed your success or you're handed your diplomas or your degrees or anything else like that, and they don't get that at 17 you're scrubbing toilets, or you're doing this or you're doing that, and so at 54 you can be here, or even at 54. Well, I would say, I'm not where I was because I got very ill, and so now I've lost all of that, and those people don't understand all of that. So I'm alone in the crowd, yet I am the world. I will answer by becoming one day you'll all want to be. I just think there's so much in here that he discusses. Like every line, there's something to discuss about life, whether he's seen or not seen. And it reminds me of a really great book called The Invisible Man. And if you've never read it, I suggest it. But
is that by
H.G.
Wells?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a good book.
Yes. But yeah, because the more millions, billions work and seem invisible than the ones that are visible and speak out their asses. And that's why I like I will answer by becoming one day you'll all want to be. I just love that, and that's how I see that.
Good.
Excellent comment. What did you think, hon? Wayne, did you want to say something?
Do what?
I thought you wanted to say something.
I did. I like to say something. I hate to interrupt, but yeah, I think what Sweet said is true. If you're young and you can be aggressive in the world and you can try to succeed, you can be an extrovert. You got to be an extrovert to get out there and hustle and defeat everybody to all your challenges. And then as you get older, like I have, I used to be. Everybody heard me because I was out defeating the world. And nowadays, I don't even like to watch anybody compete. I don't even bet on them. I don't care about competing anymore. I like my competing days are over. I want to be quiet and be just a little introvert and enjoy life. But I don't want to face the challenges no more.
I mean, understand that. Yeah. What did you think of Jasper's Right, hon?
I like the ending. This right, it definitely carries a lot to it. The ending, when it speaks of this world doesn't understand I have a life which they exploit to their whims and fancies by raising their voices and from their hands. Just because I don't fight back doesn't mean I am weak. I will answer by becoming one day, and you'll want to be. I want to have a soulmate who understands my silence without uttering a word. That speaks to me because I am silent a lot. And it's just for a lot of reasons. I always feel like a lot of the time I am technically alone in the crowd, and that's why I carry my silence a lot. But, this one, it really did speak to me in so many ways because even though I'm sociable, I do it in doses. But I also feel that dependent on a lot of certain things, that I'm not always truly seen for what exists, only what is seen. And, technically at the end of the day, we're all guilty of that with how we can see a person and what we choose to only see. And that is a saddening thing in itself, I always felt. But, it's like I told Jeff, to have just at least one person in your corner that will see the teeth and bones of it all and still stay and want to be there, I feel that's all you really need, if nothing else. Because, it just really, it has a lot to it. It really does.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I'm even quiet around you, and you usually know that those are the times that I do need to be left alone because I'm not doing very well.
Oh, yeah. Just like you said, the soulmate that knows how you're feeling without having to say anything.
Yeah. We all need that because, some days are just harder to get through than others. They really are. And if you have just at least that one person, then it will help to, get you through the day.
So I just keep my mouth shut and I rub your legs.
You smart aleck, and my back. You're just a smart aleck.
I know I am. I'm in a mood.
You're in a mood.
I'm in a mood.
I know. But it's a great break, Dad. He's in a mood.
It's a goofy mood. So
we got a busy day tomorrow, so you're probably not in anticipation of that, so you're goofy instead.
I'm not happy about tomorrow.
I know. So that's where you're bouncing from. It is a great write. It is.
Yes, it is.
And congratulations, Jess, on the FTP. And I was wondering if anything.
Raz, would you like to read for CRL 17?
Who, me?
Yes.
Yeah, I can read the next poem. Never lonely. CRL 17. Alone, but never lonely. Never lonely. It feels so right to be all alone. Sometimes I feel so free. Some people might think that I'm lonely, but lonely I'll never be. When I'm all alone here on my own, I can remember those memories of the times we shared together, living out our fantasies. Tonight I'm in a crowded room, filed with friends of yours and mine, making small talk so casually. It's such a waste of time. Standing here and listening as the voices get so loud, I'm distracted by your memory, alone here in this crowd. If I could have you here tonight, feel the love that we have known, I'd drown out all the voices so you and I could be alone. One poem.
Excellent. Excellent read, Raz. I thought that this poem was very relatable. There have been many, many times in my life when I felt lonelier in a crowd than I felt when I was by myself, or like when it's just me and Kay just sitting at home. Memories. They talk about memories in there, and memories can be very comforting. I can remember those. Where's it at? I can remember those memories of the times we shared together, living out fantasies. That's only when I'm alone, because when you're when you're in the crowd, the decibels can get to the point where our memories are just drowned out. I thought this was an excellent write. What did you think, Raz? You read it?
Yeah, here I hear the poet lingering on the muse, and although we live a life of solitude, it seems that being in social interactions only draws them further away from the muse rather than being by oneself and sort of inspired by that thought which lingers of inspiration and or this existential other type of personality which haunts the poet's mind, of whom I mean by the muse.
Excellent comment. Wayne, what do you think?
I think it's a very romantic poem. It's she's got so many good memories of her man that it crowds everything else out, and she could be anywhere. She could be alone or be with a crowd. She's still going to think about all the good times she had with the memories with her guy. And so it's a good poem, but you can never be really an introverted person if you got an extroverted person if you got a lot of good memories, because you always got your mind on something else other than trying to express yourself. You think about what you got in your mind.
What the heck is that?
I don't know. Please like my comment.
Hager.
That made me thirsty.
I went quiet again when that noise happened. I know something about that background noise.
Oh,
I have to be in the kitchen.
Oh, dishes. It was dishes.
I thought it was a cager. I got excited.
I thought somebody was pouring a drink.
It's a very good romantic poem.
I loved your comment, Wayne.
Me too. What do you think, Sweet Pea?
I'm kind of. This one it's very romantic and it's very sensual, and to me she's playing to her muse as she's distracted by a memory, alone in the crowd, and it says, I drowned out all the voices so you and I could be all alone. It's like when you are at a party or you're at a function, and you can look at your partner from across the room, and you can just have that one look, and everybody else disappears because you can have a conversation with that look. So and that's what I think about when she talks about never being alone, because regardless of where you're at or what might remind you of that person, whether it be a smell, a certain food, or something like that, you've always got that memory of that person living inside of you, and and that happiness, and that whether it's a sexy moment you're thinking of or a funny moment or something like that. It's like you always can see those eyes across the room smiling at you, and you always want to be alone with those eyes.
Mm-hmm. Awesome comment. What did you think?
Yeah, a lot of great comments. Yeah, I definitely could see the words about the back on that special love reminiscent. As I said, I can understand those moments well, because sometimes when you're a crowd, and how they were talking about while they're in the crowd, but the mind is running to that person. Sometimes it could be its own blur that filters out the noise when you're lost within. Because it's funny, you could be in a noisy room, and if you're so lost within with your thoughts, you tune out and you just only see and hear what you want because you're so lost within thought. And the right itself speaks of being lost within the memories of this person that they're thinking of. Because the ending, it does express that very well, about how they want to just be with that one and everything will be all right.
Yeah. Yes, I can relate.
I know.
I didn't see that through the perception of any of the sexes, just the poet and the muse.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. That was a good analogy, too.
Yeah. There's a lot of different ways to look at things.
Yep. Beauty of poetry.
Yeah. Always.
If you're an extrovert, around your lover, then you're probably arguing about something. Because usually you're an introvert and you're getting romantic.
Yeah.
Well, we used to.
Yeah.
Because you are the big social butterfly, and I am the wallflower. So in the past, when we used to go out, we clashed because you always were the life of the party, and I just was looking to get home.
Mm.
So that's when you couldn't understand. Yeah. So
An extrovert is only going to be self-absorbed, not an extrovert who has a more outer-going personality.
Yeah. That too. That's true.
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
The extrovert being self-absorbed, the extrovert outer personality. See what I'm saying? Why an introvert lives inside their own head, but an extrovert requires the rest of society now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a good analogy, yeah.
If you're an extrovert, you got to have an audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I used to.
You used to, yeah. You needed a lot back then. You don't.
I think.
Not this.
Well, I don't know. I guess they want to. As an extrovert, I don't necessarily need a stage. I like to.
But you want to be seen when you want to be noticed and be seen.
I want to learn from people and be a part of people. That's why I say I'm not a full extrovert or a full introvert.
Yeah, personality tests tend to balance that out between both halves. There's like 15 or 24 different kinds, and each is a mix of introversion and extroversion, according to tests which psychologists have studied.
Yeah, I know.
There's a healthy mix.
Yeah, it's a good healthy mix.
Well, there's like everybody knows Briggs-Myers. I'm sure everybody's taken a Briggs-Myers.
Yeah.
So on a Briggs-Myers, I'm absolutely stable across all four. I don't have one dominant.
Huh?
Wow. Pretty cool.
So it's very rare. So sometimes things are said, and I'm like, huh? What did you explain that? Not just because I need an explanation. Not that I'm not that I'm questioning anything. I just need an explanation because I get
But despite
called
those
an extra.
tests, then there's human behavior, and then certain individuals really do not seek out society or seek out someone else in order to feel fulfilled, compared to others who require some kind of attention from another person. I mean, there's human behaviorism outside of the test.
Well, absolutely.
Agreed.
Yes, Wayne.
Agreed.
Yeah, I was going to say that one. Please go ahead.
No, it's just my Next poem.
You mean
I can talk about this.
Rick and Myers, right?
Yeah.
If you're normal person,
go ahead, Wayne. I'm sorry.
Okay, if you're a normal person, your environment should have a lot to do with what kind of person you are. If you're in a nice, quiet place and you're relaxed, you probably become more introverted. If you're out competing for a business, you can be more extroverted. But in your environment that's around you, how you're really going to react to it, and what kind of person you're going to be if you're balanced right. So your environment has a lot to do with that, what kind of person you are, unless you're really extreme extrovert or extreme introvert. And then the environment doesn't matter. That's when you got to watch out. That's when you're extreme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You want Sweet Pea to read Joseph?
Yeah.
Sweet Pea, would you like to read Joseph Moon?
Yes.
I would love to read Joseph Moon. My Mr. Philosopher himself.
Yeah.
Sing strong in thy solitude. The thought that mind must embrace, 2 hours alone in thy special space, 'tis greater than 10,000 tongues. Sing strong with the power of godlike lungs. Time doth make life easier to be wise. Throw off the black curtains of thy eyes, that makes thy tortured soul more rude. Exclude servitude and bosom solitude. There true freedom is found and found.
Excellent read. I thought, well, of course, Joseph is a genius, as always. When he talks about 2 hours alone in a special place is greater than 10,000 tongues, singing strong with the power of godlike lungs. I think that just spoke to me so much because, my special place, of course, is here at home with Kay, and that's where I feel at peace, and it's also where I'm most creative. And I think that that's kind of the direction that his poem was taking. I really like this a lot. Sweet Pea, you read it. What did you think?
I really enjoyed it too. I like throw off the black curtains of thy eyes, that makes thy tortured soul more rude. Exclude servitude, in bosom solitude, because I will have to say that a lot of people that would prefer to be alone or prefer to not be a part of crowds, in my opinion, don't go there, because they get rude. They're just not nice people. And it's okay to be introverted, but it's not okay when you're in a group of people and someone says hello to you and they just walk away, and then they turn around and go, oh, well, I'm just introverted and I don't like to talk to people. No, you're just rude. And that's, so I like how he says that. Even though that's just my opinion.
Yeah. Well, no, I can kind of relate to that because, I work in a public forum where I deal with customers all day, every day I go in there, and there are some people that I'll walk by and just say hello to, because it's our job to say hello to everybody we walk by,
Right.
and ask how they're doing. And there's some that'll just keep walking and not even,
Acknowledge.
admit that you exist. So
Yes.
yeah, I do understand that. I do sometimes feel that's rude, because after they walk by, I say in my head, well, fuck you too.
The ones the Better Business Bureau pretend not to read.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God they can't read our minds.
Right, exactly.
Nobody would have free thoughts
No.
all the time. It's
Yeah.
impossible.
It's true. Raz, what did you think
But
of Joseph's poem? I'm sorry, go ahead. Sweepy.
Yeah, usual.
Yep.
Wait, do you have a comment, Sweepy?
No, I was just going to say, it's intelligently written and moving and inspiring, as Joseph always does for me. That's all. And comment. I'm done.
Oh, okay. Oh, go ahead, Raz.
With Joseph Moon, you have the craftsmanship of a Freemason, which is very similar to William Blake. He plays along these verses like he's portraying through his actual words the portrait of the introverted personality, and how in all those silent moments they are only achieving some kind of union closer with divine godhood. So that's what I see in his poem. But it's because of his magniloquent style of language why it seems that way. I want to point out it's deliberately because of his writing style that what comes from this series of words is really kind of traditional and at the same time ancient poetry. Yet it speaks on a level that you can still feel now in our own modern time set.
Excellent comment. Okay. Wayne, what do you think?
I think he's an amazing poet. He puts words together in ways that nobody else I know around does. But he's what his poem says, and to me it says, "You are amazing. 2 hours alone is greater than 10,000 tongues." Because you got time to think and relax and get your thoughts together. And I think it's a great two little phrase you got there. Then he goes, "Time does make life easier." And it does. Once you get older, your life becomes easier. You're not in as much competition, and you get a little bit relaxed. And it's time to quit serving, as last time says, exclude servitude, and involves solitude. Then you want time alone to think about your life and ponder about what your life was, and makes you a lot more introverted. So he's a great poem, and all the way through it, he has a message all the way through it.
Yeah, you're right, Stephen. He's a genius.
Yes. Yes.
He's amazing.
I agree. Yes, he is. Excellent comment, Wayne, as well. Hun, what do you think?
Yeah, I do like this because I read this a while ago. I like the lines that 2 hours alone in a special place is greater than 10,000 tongues. That I agree with, because my home has become my fortress, my solitude, my everything. I've gotten to the point that I hate to leave home, actually, because it is my place where I feel safe in every sense of the word. I feel safe from people and all the things that it brings. So I know that you hate that I don't always leave the house anymore. We've had discussions about that.
No, I'm always the one that has to trounce to the store.
I know. I give you the grocery list. I tell you, okay, go get it. And you do. But, yeah, I definitely agree with those two lines there, because they do stand out. But also when he speaks of time does make life easier to be wise. I do think, and I've said this often, that through age and time, we do become a little bit wiser through mistakes we've had.
As long as we learn from mistakes.
As we learn, yes, this is true.
There are some people who never learn.
Well, I know. And, that's their problem. I like the line, too, where he says, "Throw off the black curtains of thy eyes, that makes thy tortured soul more rude. Exclude servitude and bosom solitude." I like that because I embrace my solitude, and I go to it often. As I always say, solitude is my mistress. because I will always embrace that. I will always embrace the quietness over a lot of things all the time because I feel it is safer there. I feel it's even safer than interacting with people at times too, actually. So that's why I am a very quiet person, because time and experiences have taught me quiet is always better.
Yeah.
So I definitely like this. It carries a lot to it. And I appreciate you sharing this tonight, Joseph.
Yes. Now I'm going to get cheeky. And I'm going to apologize to Joseph before I get cheeky, but I have to do this.
What?
Well, if this was like a naughty night, then wouldn't 10,000 tongues sound enticing, or would that be overkill?
Overkill. Overkill. This is not Caligula. Caligula.
Caligula. Well, then again, we're also talking him versus her, so.
There's not a whole night to be rubbed down by 10,000 tongues. I mean, now you're just wondering off point, Steve.
I do that often.
I know.
Wayne's going to check on his cat.
Okay.
He'll be back in 5.
He's back in 5.
I know where mine is. Queen Victoria's sleeping on my lap.
She is. She's being good. Last night she was terrible. She kept meowing. The sound cloud for Deb. You could have heard her 3 times meowing and purring once in there.
What, the one that I did?
For Monday.
Yeah.
I tried to get her to be quiet, but no.
She just wants to be a radio star.
Like, I want to say hi.
Vicky done killed the radio star.
Well,
yeah.
She's probably just tired of, wants to introduce cats like Amadeus introduced the dog. So she was what,
Yeah.
Kitty a lot or meow Kitty a lot?
Yeah, it's true.
This is true.
Let's introduce the cat and dog poetry.
Yeah.
We could do a show.
I don't know how many we get about cats.
No, I mean the cats and the dogs read their poetry.
Oh, I don't know about that either. Vicky's in a good
You have
mood right
dressed
now.
up like clowns, and then you put a microphone in front of them.
There you
on
go.
top of a pedestal.
Yeah. See what happens.
Yeah.
Be a lot of dead air, probably.
Yeah.
Until somebody knocked on the door, and then Amadeus would go crazy.
Yeah. Animals are fun.
Yes, they are. I see you're going to drop yours.
I am.
About that.
I am. I did not personally write, but I was looking for my writes, and I have so many that fit for tonight. So I decided on this one after changing it out in the topic folder many times. So I picked this one that goes to the quote, "I'm not good at expressing my feelings, so I keep everything bottled inside. Half the time I want to tell someone what I'm feeling, but I don't even know how to describe it, so I stay quiet." And I call this, now this is from our Billy Joel show,
Mm-hmm.
and I definitely felt this fit to that quote. And I call this, "There is a room. In every room there is a heart, and silence is your beloved. Others can't understand the value of why you hold it dear. I always speak in cautious tones, as others' hurt have made trust hard to achieve. The sanctuary I have built is safe and strong, away from the hurt. Silence is always my self-defense. As the hands and mouths of others have taught me, hardening the heart is best. Not many I let in to have room in the heart. For you, there's always a room, safe and strong, away from the past. Though some days it was hard to look at you without seeing the past, there is always a room in my heart for you. That is always open unconditionally, as you have shielded me from love's chill. And so it goes, my cautious tones of silence, you understand. As you realize talking was never my strength, our cautious tones of talk open the doors of communication. Through the moments of my silence I like to keep. In every heart there is a room. This room is yours to take, as I know time has shown. You won't break it, and so it goes. The heart will always have room for you in it. End poem. And for life me struggling for the name of the song. And so it goes.
And so it goes, is it?
That's
Yeah, that's the name of the song, yeah. Yep. You just had to ask me, and I would have been able to tell you.
Okay.
Well, Sweet Pea could tell you, too, I'm sure. But, yeah. I really love this. I thought it was wonderful. And it goes back to you too. It goes right back at you. Our unconditional love is strengthened over time, and it really is only for us and only understood by us. So,
Sorry.
Yeah, I know. Vicky's starting to talk now.
Sorry.
But yeah, I thought, of course, this is a beautiful write. You're welcome. Raz, what do you think?
Yeah, the poem has an authentic, genuine look into secrets that go on within our species, such as mentioning there is a room. All of that is psychological and spiritual. You find that everyone has a special room somewhere, although they could even be homeless, where certain individuals will always have a place in their heart, like Kay speaks. It's very sweet and stirring words. Good, right?
Thank you.
And Sweet Pea, what do you think?
Well, first, it's from Billy Joel, and you just took the essence of him and weaved it perfectly. And I wouldn't say that about everyone or every poem. But yeah, it definitely holds true here. The sanctuary I have built is safe and strong, away from the heart. Silence was always my self-defense. As the hands and mouths of others have taught me, hardening the heart is best. That's, for me, it's really sad, and yet really understandable as to why people do it that way. It's just like the contradiction of yin and yang, of I'll let love in a little, but I won't let it take my whole heart. It's very beautiful.
Thank you.
Excellent comment. And I don't know if Wayne is done checking on his cat. Or
Yeah,
not.
yeah, I'm back.
Did
I'm back.
you
Yeah, I gotta get back where I go. Yeah, the cat come. I heard it in there all read, but I just really good over it. It's a good poem, and I think these two are pretty much. If y'all was the one person, y'all be the most introverted person in the world. Y'all so love each other so much. Y'all just stay together all the time, and nobody ever hear from you if you had a choice. Because everything y'all write is just y'all love each other so much. So it kind of makes me blush.
True.
But it's
True,
lovely. Yeah, it is true. It's y'all extroverts in bed.
There is a place, there is a way, there is a room, there is a heart. Very essential, like poetic.
Yeah.
Yes, and we have somebody that just joined us from the Chevron station, and hopefully she brought us some gas station sushi. Hello, Crystal.
Ew.
Crystal.
That was gross.
How you doing, Mrs. Hope?
I'm not a Mrs., but I'm good.
How are you?
I'm all right. I sit there and kept thinking, oh, I'm going to call in, and then I had to do something, and then I was like, I'm going to call in, and then I had to do something, and then I started reading, and I looked at the time, and I was like, oh, shoot, I need to call in.
Never, never.
That's cool. It's
Miss
Elvis. That's our president.
Yeah.
It's now or never.
Yeah.
All right. Well, did you want to drop Crystals into the room so she can read for us?
Yeah.
There it is.
Okay. That was fast. Well, when I saw this quote, I literally was like, that is just me, 100% in a quote. This whole entire thing just is 100% me. And I was like, and I never heard anyone call me an old soul until, like, Bella told me. Like, I always knew that I liked different things than my friends, and I was always different, but never quite thought of it as an old soul, but I guess I am one. So this is called an old soul. Trees of taupe, oak, and pine brush against a solid breeze. The moon glistens off my eyes. I love moments such as these. Soft melodies vibrate sweetness through my pink earphones. A porch or swing out in nature occupies me when I'm alone. A book of poetry in my hands, embracing the light in my mind. The sounds of silence I enjoy, but one-on-one deep conversations are fine. Reading a book, listening to music, watching TV, and taking a stroll. I enjoy the simple things in life. I am an introvert and an old soul. End poem.
Yeah, this is very, very cool. First off, I did say that this sounds like the life. Just, reading a book, listening to music, watching TV, taking a stroll. The simple things are what make life great, in my opinion, too. And I'm glad you picked that quote because, just like you said, I often hear Bella refer to you as an old soul. I think that the simple things in life should bring joy. Otherwise, it can be an unhappy existence because, like I told you in my comment, I often hear of the rich being unhappy because all they want is just more and more and more. But, people like us are just happy to just sit on the deck and watch the fireflies. It's, it is more relaxing. This is a great poem. Oh, Sweet Pea left us? Okay, good night, Sweet Pea. All right, let's get some comments for you. Raz, what do you think?
Yeah, I hear the same comment from Belle. So I don't know if she just thinks of poets as being old souls, but I have no relation on that thought. Although I enjoy doing all these things in the poem, reading books, poetry, solitude, even a stroll to let off some energy and for my own health. All these references, they're so subtle that one can almost kind of drowse off to the very peace of which she instills upon her poetic weaving of words, is what I hear in Miss Hope. Peace.
Awesome. Excellent comment. Wayne, what did you think?
I'm muted. I think the point is kind of like we were talking about earlier. If the environment's right, you're going to be a little bit introverted. If things just perfect for you and you're feeling real comfortable, you want to be kind of introverted tendencies. You wouldn't want to be extroverted. It'd be kind of bad if she was talking about before she's out there, the moon glistening in her eyes and all that, and then take off running across the field yelling. That wouldn't be very appropriate. So it's the conditions around you. The conditions around you is what can make you introverted or extroverted. So it's a great poem, and I got relaxed. I didn't want to say nothing to nobody. I want to go kind of kick back and go daydream when I read your poem. It's real relaxing and introverted tendencies for sure. Good poem.
Thank you, Wayne.
What do you think, man?
Yeah, I do like this one because it definitely spoke a lot to me because what you say, a lot of it is what I do as well. Because I used to hate it when I was younger, being called an old soul. And it would really bug me when my sister, she would in so many different ways say that to me. Because I remember on my wedding day when I married Stephen, she said that to me in a roundabout way too. And, as you get older, you learn to embrace it. Because I think that technically carrying an old soul as well is pretty great because it gives you some added wisdom and insight. Especially when you're younger, to see things on a different plateau than what, somebody in your age bracket might be. Because I know I'm going to be 23 in the summer, and he and I could sit and we could have conversations for a long time. And I know sometimes it bugs you because it can go on for a while. But he's on the same mindset as me because we're throwing stuff back at each other that, carries its own insight to it and wisdom. And I appreciate conversations like that. And it's great that, at such a young age, that somebody in their 20s can, I think it's great that sometimes when they're people in the age bracket in their 20s, that they can carry certain wisdom and insight to them. Because I think it will help them to make wiser decisions too, like you. But, I think for me growing up, I had to kind of also grow up pretty quickly. Yeah. Because of my parents. I had to at times be more the adults and they were more so the children, of how I had to take care of them, take care of the house, and by a certain age, raise myself as well. And I think that's also what helped to make me more of a closed-off person, too. But, I like the right all-around because, as I said earlier, I mingle in doses. I'm here and there, and then I kind of sneak away because I do like to be quiet. And I know that when you're quiet, it's seen as one way, and I can't fix that. I can't change it. I only work at what I'm comfortable with. But there's a lot that I like. I really do. And, I definitely, every night just so I fall asleep with my headphones in. And when we say goodnight, then I turn my back to you and I put my earbuds in and I fall asleep to the music sometimes. So I like that you put me in the great
I always tell her that she shouldn't fall asleep with the earbuds in.
I do, though. I do.
I do it, too.
There you go again.
There you go again.
Can take strength
Yeah.
in Stephen K. If their marriage is so perfect, that means others can find happiness in relationships like that.
Oh, they take a minute if.
Why they're a positive message.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, thank you. We try.
Yeah.
I don't think our marriage is perfect. We just
We
just know how to make it work.
A lot,
Yeah.
and we've learned to keep the love.
Oh, the two of you sound like you'll always be in love.
Need more cameras.
Deb's got the cameras in here.
I don't know. I don't know if anybody would want to see that.
I don't know.
You're very extra.
Yeah, that's okay. We don't need to discuss that any further.
It's only a radio show, not trying to peek into people's private lives.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen the show. I don't know. You probably don't want me to say this, but I got to say it. If you've ever seen the show The Middle, we've often thought that the producers of that show had hidden cameras in our house because so much of what happened to them in that show just seemed to match us perfectly.
Yeah, Frankie and Mike had.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because they were just middle class people trying to make it.
Yeah.
It was a good show.
Yeah, I wouldn't be peeking. I'd be cheering.
There's someone in Pennsylvania right now thinking the same about the Connors.
True. Where did you want to go now, hon? Okay. He still never let us know if we're pronouncing his name right or not. But here we go. This is from Caius Bruce.
This is just being an introvert and something.
Yeah, kind of like Raz did, just for the theme of the show. This is called I Just Don't Belong. These faded blue jeans ain't no Levi's. And this old shirt here isn't tight white. Motorhead with the devil. I'm playing here rebel while listening to the twang of Dwight. I ain't wearing no boots. I don't have guns that shoot. Just Converse with no flash. I'm a pure pain in the ass. And I'm going to get whiplash from those country-ass blues. I just don't belong. I'll listen to some sad country songs or maybe some southern-style blues. I'll break out some heavy metal. I'll dance here with the devil. Somehow I can't be seen in the middle. I guess I just don't belong. Rocking out to the banjo. I can get down to the fiddle. My granddaddy played those old tunes. I was raised on George Jones from the spoon. And I'll rock out to Johnny Cash as I tell everyone they can kiss my ass because I love hard rock too. So play me some Here Merle or Creedence Clearwater Revival. Some Guns N' Roses sure would do, or a little Slayer sounds good too. So just between you and me, Charlie Pride can make me cry, you see. So can Hello Darlin' by Conway Twitty. I just don't belong. I'll listen to some sad country songs or some southern-style blues, maybe break out some heavy metal. I'm dancing here with the devil. Somehow I can't be seen in the middle. I guess I just don't belong. End poem. I thought that this was very cool, very lyrical, and also very relatable because, as I told him in my comment, I like many styles of music too. You'll see me listening to Kenny Rogers one day, the next day it'll be Judas Priest, and then how about a little Sting? I thought that this was an excellent write, very inspiring. And I have to read what he said back. He said, "Thank you very much, Stephen. It's hard to find a place in the musical world when we love genres extreme from one extreme to the other." He said he's a huge Police fan, but Sting solo is hit and miss. That's pretty cool. Raz, what do you think?
Here you have a certain percentage of American lives which really do seek out escapism through music, and it goes on for years that although there's problems or certain situations a person could be in, they have at least an hour or more where you can absorb yourself again in the immense musical library that's available to the public. These are all types of people, because cults form out of music bands and always did, not just Johnny Cash, but also Guns N' Roses. So all that's mentioned in the poem, how escapism or being proposed an alternate reality of looking at America through folk is right there on the record in the songs.
Excellent comment. Wayne, what do you think? Or is Wayne muted, or did he step away?
No, I'm sorry, I was muted. I think this guy has a good ear for music. He has a good ear for music.
Yeah.
The first three stanzas, I thought he was talking about me, because his everything he said about the converse and everything kind of like me. And I think he belongs everywhere. Anywhere he wants to go, he should belong with his thoughts of his music and the way he had his attitude. And he had Twitty and Pride and Merle and Johnny Cash. They don't get no better than that when you're in certain times. And then you got Rose and Creedus in there too. So he belongs anywhere he wants to go. He should fit in perfectly. Instead of not fitting nowhere, he should be everywhere. It's good. He's got good some good groups there, and he's got a good hit on the shoulders. Good poem.
Awesome comment. Crystal, what do you think?
This poem just kind of makes me think of my parents, because my dad grew up in the Northeast and my mom grew up in the South. So my dad listened to a lot of rock and roll, and my mom listened to country. So I was exposed to both of them. And so it was always like going like back in between. And you do kind of feel like that, where you're like, going. I've never really been a big fan of country, though. I think I'd rather have the rock. I guess I'm with my dad on that one. But yeah, I think that you just got to, like, whatever music you like. And like, it doesn't matter. It's a part of the music that matters is how it makes you feel. And that's really what should matter. So yeah, I like this piece. I think he did a great job, and I just kind of find it to be a little lyrical and just fun to read.
Excellent comment. What do you think, hon?
Well, I have to agree with what you say, what Bruce has said, what Wayne said. I love old country because the thing is, there's country today, but it doesn't seem like it is. It seems like they're trying to mainstream at the top. It doesn't have the same feel that it used to.
Mm-hmm.
Because, growing up, that's how I got introduced to Patsy Cline, and I just loved her music. And Dolly Parton, my mother loved Dolly Parton, and Kenny Rogers, and Dwight Yoakam. There's too many.
Eddie Rabbitt,
I know you love Eddie Rabbitt. A lot of good greats there. And, he does think that's very true there, because after you read about the Hello, Darling, I could hear Conway Twitty singing in my mind, Hello, Darling, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the attitude in here.
Jerry Reed.
Yeah, from Cannonball Run?
Yeah, he was in Smokey and the Bandit.
That's it. I get those confused. I'm sorry, yeah. But yeah, I like the right, because it definitely is true. Every day we have our own personal style that we march to, and we all have our own attitude, and we all march to our own beat. So as I tell them, keep on rocking and keep on twanging.
Yeah, exactly. What was the one guy's name that he stuttered unless he was singing, a country singer?
Oh, boy.
He was in Cannonball Run with Terry Bradshaw in the car.
Really?
Yeah. What the heck was his name? That's going to bother me.
Too.
What's that, Crystal?
I said I think I know what you're talking about, but I can't think of the name either.
Yeah, what the heck is his name? I'm going to look it up.
Yeah.
Who was it?
I don't know.
He was in the Cannonball Run movie. He was Terry Bradshaw's partner, country singer. He stuttered unless he was singing. I can't think of his name. I can picture him.
Yeah, gosh. I can too.
Kay's looking it up.
Well, yeah,
I can't think of his name either.
I'll do that. Let's see here. I'm trying to look at
Yeah,
it.
IMDb.
Country music has changed a lot in the last few years, I think. For a while, got better.
Yeah,
now I think it's getting a little bit off track. I'm going to ride.
Yeah, I agree.
If you
I like
alter
the
a
older
couple
stuff.
of those words to Bruce's poem title, you have "I Don't Belong in These Times" by the Beach Boys off Pet Sounds. I don't know if that's relevant to another musical reference. The more you read into these poems, the more there is of the rest of what's always been written.
Yeah. His name will come up.
What is his name's Tillis?
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah.
How could Subaru driver number 2 come up before him?
Because maybe he had a bigger part.
He did not have a bigger part. Mel Tillis. That's what his name was.
Mel Tillis.
Yes, I thought Tillis. Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh yeah, Crystal's sitting in the room too.
Okay.
Yep,
I just looked it up.
Yeah, me too. Because that'd be bugging me if I didn't, so I had to.
What was his name?
Was not Ryan Newman for some reason?
Well, that would just perfect.
Yeah.
Oh no. Should make fun of people.
I hated Terry Bradshaw when he was with the Steelers, but I loved him afterwards.
Well, yeah, his humor. He's a big sarcastic guy. I like his humor.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I said that wrong. The Squealers.
The Squealers. I know you call them. I know. See, in Ohio, it's a big deal. Ohio and Steelers, it's like a big deal.
Squealers.
I know. There's a lot of people in Ohio who have their own ideas about the Steelers. There's a lot of Steelers fans that have their own idea about Ohio and the Browns. So there you go. Just like the Ohio State.
I thought we were talking football.
We are. Yeah.
We are talking football, sir.
I'm joking.
NASCAR 500 was off on my part.
That was rude.
We're not the caliber of the 80s right now.
No, they're not. They'll get there. There's always hope.
Maybe in your lifetime.
Hopefully in my lifetime.
Maybe.
They'll be the Sands by the time I get there.
All right, back to poetry. Where do we want to go?
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh man.
Crystal, would you like to read for Heavenly Angel?
I can try. Okay. Click on that. This one is called Random Thoughts by Heavenly Angel. There are times in one's life when mere words fall miserably short, when expressing the deepest contents of the heart. Words of verse or rhyme, and possibly flowing flawlessly across the page, while eliciting praise, When missing praise and admiration from others sometimes just seems to do justice for the intensity the heart feels. Such is the time in my life. I've been asked so many times in the last few months what it is I want or expect, and all I can say is this: my heart knows. My heart has never doubted what it wants or needs, and it wouldn't be fulfilled until that certain someone, that certain something reaches out and takes it in. It is only this that will comfort, that will protect, and how I want to know the comfort, even if only temporary. No, these are no flowery or awesome or amazing words. but they are the true, undeniable, gut-wrenching thoughts of my heart and soul. Take them as you will. I'm just me, simple, open, and humbled to the possibility that life offers us. Such are these thoughts of an angel. End poem.
Excellent read. I thought that these are feelings that I am also familiar with, because there's so many times I'll finish a poem, especially one about Kay, and I'll feel like it just doesn't say everything I wanted to say. I guess sometimes there are just no words for the feelings in our hearts, and I thought this was an excellent write. Crystal, you read it. What did you think?
I love what you said here, because it really is just kind of like her thoughts and people's thoughts, and I like that she did that. I like that she's saying that these words are not flat or awesome or amazing or anything, but they're just the things that come from your heart and soul, and that really is what poetry is. A lot of people think it's like, oh, little cutesy rhymes here and there, but like usually it's just your thoughts and your soul, and if it comes out in rhyme or if it comes out another way, like if it seems poem-like, then it is. But does it mean that all, like anything that you write pretty much can be a poem, and it can be something from your heart. And I like that she expressed that here, saying that not everything is going to be perfect, that we're just going to have what our heart says, and that's all that we can do. And I like that a lot.
Awesome comment. Raz, what do you think?
Yeah, I can see why this is signed an angel, because it speaks of someone who has the emotional depth or level to understand that other people matter to an extreme, profound level, and they cannot ever be told because it's some kind of secret of which only the heart would know. So that's what I saw in Heavenly Angel's poem.
Awesome comment. And I know that Wayne had to hit the road, so I just want to thank him real quick for hanging out with us. I think this is the longest he's ever hung out with us.
Yeah, he's a flitter, too.
Yeah. What did you think of Heavenly Angel's poem, hon?
Yeah, for anybody who happens to be in next week's poll, you may hear this as well, because this is for the contest for our show next week, too, next Saturday. I like how the one stanza reads. I've been asked so many times in the last few months, what is it I want or expect? And all I can say is this: my heart knows. My heart has never doubted what it wants or needs, and it won't be fulfilled until that certain someone, that certain something reaches out and takes it in. It is only this that will comfort, that will protect, and how I want to know the comfort, even if only temporary. That actually stands out in a very profound way, because it speaks of, somebody else in their life, and then trying to find what. Well, certain people are questioning why, and then trying to find their own semblance of happiness and faith and maybe love. I mean, this definitely, the quote that she picked for next week's show, too. I like it because, it does speak to many of us. And it's true, because the quote she picked, you have to go where your energy takes you to, and it guides you to where you need to step in each part of your life. And sometimes, in life, you always got to make those changes, and sometimes they may be ones that people may question or not understand. But sometimes it's something your heart tells you that it's time to make a change, whether it's the person you want in your life or just making a radical change in any sense of the word that sometimes a person won't understand. Because at the end of the day, only you know what you want and what's going to make you happy and what you need. Beautiful, right?
Indeed.
And I will comment
Raining
on
cars and dogs out there, Miss Hope.
It's for Wayne.
That's what I was about to say. I hate my autocorrect and put cars instead of cats.
Cars and dogs.
That was the end of Hearts in Atlantis, the book by Stephen King, right? I mean, Actual automobiles drop out of the sky, but it's not in the movie with Anthony Hopkins.
I definitely want to stay inside that day.
Yeah.
I kind of love autocorrect.
I know, it doesn't. That's why I usually read before I send.
Sometimes you just don't. You want to get it out there.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Before somebody else swipes your line.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Do you know what time of the show it is?
I see a smart ass.
I am. I like to be a smart aleck sometimes when I'm in this mood. It is time for Raz to read for Mr. Gilman.
I can be the solicitor of Mr. Gilman tonight. I knew there was a reason why I had to wake up at 10:30. All right. Here we go. A lonely introvert. The caption here reads, introverts, the happiest people when we're alone, the saddest people when we're lonely. Caption, heading, whisper. Written by Trin and Jeg325. A lonely introvert. All my life, the quietness called to me. A solitary figure in a solitary life. Trying to fight through my disguises to discover the person I really am. Can't find myself in a noisy crowd. I'm at home when no one is around. No friends to try and analyze my life. I'm the only one who understands me. This person who lives inside myself is searching for a way to feel alive. Am I in the dark or in the light? I only know that no one sees me here. I guess the question I need to ask is, can you hear me? Can you feel my pain? Will I ever be enough? Are you listening? I'm an introvert, not the ghost of me.
Wow.
End poem.
Mm-hmm. Yes, excellent read. I thought these were powerful words. And I kind of feel the same way. I feel safest and able to be myself when I am at home, just Kay and me reading and writing poetry while we listen to music. I thought this poem was very, very relatable and is very well done. Raz, you read it. What do you think?
Yeah, this speaks of something far more sadder and tragic of the inner self and how who we are inside really will always probably be separate from this world. And if you think about that too deeply, you see why there's that connotation to sadness, how the inner self cannot actually come out of the shell, can't find a way of connecting with the rest of the world, but stays inside. And that self is extremely lonely sometimes because they're probably the one who witnesses everything to the greatest detail but can never testify to another person. And that's interrelated portions of profundity which I find in the poem.
Excellent comment. What did you think, Crystal?
Yeah, I can relate to this poem way too. One, I saw that quote and I was like, yeah, that is definitely the truth. That like you're happy when you're alone, but then when you're lonely, you can be very, very sad because it's like you do get sick of that alone time. Even though like very introverted people, they like to be alone. There are times where we're like, okay, we do actually want people to talk to. And I feel like people, when they see introverts or more shy, quiet people, they're like, oh, they don't want to talk. I'll leave them alone. And I'm like, no, that's actually not the case. We do want to talk. Just sometimes we just need that time to relax and to see that we need just time by ourselves and stuff like that. Kind of like some people say it's to recharge, which I've used that before too. Like I just need to recharge. I can talk to you in a little bit, but just let me have a few minutes to myself. But yeah, I kind of just relate to this poem too well. I love that no friends to try to analyze my life. I'm the only one that understands me. That's about the way that it is. So, but yeah, I love this poem. It really touched me.
Awesome comment. What do you think, hon?
Yeah, I like that line that Crystal referenced to. Because at the end of the day, it's only us who truly knows what we're all about. And I know that, no matter what, depending on the person, they'll always see this person one way, and it's hard to break the mindset. Sometimes what you see is not always true. It's just always hard to truly look at a person and see what truly exists. That's just something that, at some point everybody's guilty of. I like to write all around because I do, as I said, I embrace the quietness often. And, it is a safe place because then you're silenced from the noise as well, the noise of the world, the noise of people. And you're controlling your environment in a way that helps you to come back and bounce and heal. Because everybody needs that every now and again, too. So that way they can come back and be ready to be around people, be around the world again. Mm-hmm. It's a must. You have to look out for yourself, too.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Excellent comments from everybody. Where are we going now?
Crystal wants to read the gold.
Well, Crystal, would you like to read our gold winner from Glow Lizzie?
Sorry, I was trying to get myself off mute. Yeah, I can do that. Okay. This is called Poetic Dreams by Glow Lizzie. She sits isolated with a pen pressed against her lips, book stacks piling higher by the day. A new best friend discovered upon the pressed leaves, scribbled words on crumbled pages. Across the floor they lay. She stares outside her window at the world beyond this pane. It's all a poem waiting to be written on a page. People on the street are novels waiting to be written. The lovers sitting on the bench are themselves living poems. The sky baby blue with its tangerine ball, birds singing lullabies as the day carries on. They're all her friends. They are not aware, for she has written numerous tales for each of them. Though she speaks ever so rarely, perhaps a word or two, she fills manuscripts with sublimely not a stutter in her work. As the night tolls in, the sky now ebon with a white crescent hanging high, poetry written in the clouds that streak across the midnight sky. The half-man gives a wink as she stares at the darkening sky. "Good night, old friend," she whispers, as her head she lay upon her bed, drifting off to sleep, entering her poetic dreams. And poem.
Awesome read. I thought that this was wonderful. As poets, I think we can all relate to this poem because we see the world so differently than others. We have the ability to write about nearly anything and in a poetic way. I thought this was an excellent write. Just like what Wayne was saying earlier, I think it was Wayne, that most poets are introverts and we need that alone time to write about the things that we've seen, and that's what I get from this. Crystal, you read it. What'd you think?
Yeah, I can see why you gave it a gold because I love it, and it is very truthful. I believe that a lot of people, they are. A lot of poets are more introverted and stuff. I pretty much don't even call it, when I'm a poet and in my very quiet area, I call myself a daydreamer. And usually, like, when people are not, like, I'm not paying attention to what they're saying or I'm just in my own world, I sit there and say, "I'm sorry, I'm daydreaming." I sometimes make people mad, but I'm like, "I'm sorry, it's just like I saw something outside or I saw this and made me think of a poem." And that's where my mind eventually is going to go. And I love that she puts that people on the streets are novels waiting to be written. I think I told Jay, I think it was last night, one of his poems and stuff. I often go to stores or walk on the street or walk in places and I see people and I look in their eyes and look at their face and wonder what they've actually gone through. Because everybody's lives is a story. Everybody has their own book to tell. And I think that's like just what's so amazing about life is that we all just have had struggles or beautiful moments or things like that, and they're all just stories of our lives. And us as poets and writers, we get to write on that. We get to see the inner depths of everything, and I think that's just awesome. But, yeah, I love this poem from her, and, yeah, it definitely needed the gold because just wow.
Excellent comment. Raz, what do you think?
Yeah, this poem by the poet Gloria speaks of an extreme level of literacy where you realize the whole world is a form of communication that's constantly sending out messages. And those specific messages, not just the individual story of lives within the population, are not even translated. So she goes around, the poet, through the course of the day, trying to decipher what it all means. The whole universal knowledge is right here, but we are at a point of literacy that we cannot unravel what there is of all those details of not only present history, even the course of nature, until finally what I find to be really of a poignant mind is that the old man who's winking happens to be the moon, just like the myth that the man on the moon is really his face at night, but it's her last thought before she goes to sleep, inspired and yet still nowhere nearer to unraveling the more complex meaning of life, which is throughout the planet. So this is a deep read.
Awesome comment. What do you think, hon? I see what you wrote.
Well, yeah, because, after I read this, I already knew that this was going to be in the top. This one, it really did speak to me because it speaks of, Crystal's comment. It speaks of what I do, too. Because sometimes when we do go out, and especially when we do our long drives and our day trips, I just like to watch people in general because it's very true. Everybody has a story, but it's great to just watch these random people and, try to figure things out and just look at them and try to, understand, that there's more to them. Because I know years ago, we haven't seen him in a long time, but in our neighborhood, whenever we would be out and about doing errands, there was this guy that we would just call the walk-in dude.
Yeah.
He just always walked everywhere. He had a backpack. He looked like he was homeless, but I'm not sure.
I don't think he was.
But I
Don't mean
think he
Randall
was,
Flagg from the stand, the walking dude?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
sorry, Kate.
Well, no, that was fine. It's just he walked all over town. He was just always everywhere. And then, he
That sounds like me.
Yeah. He just always put out. He really did because he looked like he had a heck of a story to him. He just was everywhere. He was always walking. Even in the winter, he'd still be walking through the snow.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to joke because he looked like he was right around the right age. I used to joke to say that's Elvis Presley.
Yeah, I doubt it. But yeah, I see where you're going there. I think this is a heck of a right, though, because it is true. The one stands up, people on the street are novels waiting to be written. How true is that? I think it's cool that if you can look at a deeper level and just look at people and try to, get your own idea of what their story is and just create your own picture. Because, sometimes it's pretty funny. Like sometimes when we're driving too, it looks like, oh, this person in that car's fighting. Because sometimes you just watch.
You can tell by their body language, yeah.
Yeah, their body language. And
oh, yeah, they're fighting with each other, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it's just fun to watch random people. It is. I like how you brought them into the story of a right. This is wonderful all around. It spoke to my heart.
You went through this whole show without bringing up Eleanor Rigby, another Paul McCartney song. Look at all the lonely people. That's another tragedy of being an introverted personality, loneliness and depression, which was hardly mentioned throughout the whole broadcast. There is a downside, even if you're comfortable with solitude.
Yeah.
True.
That's very true.
Yeah.
But it's okay. I've seen the ugly side of society, and most days now I just prefer being isolated in my house instead.
Yep, that's what I prefer to.
Yeah.
Home with my Kay and my cats.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, now you're just talking about inner bodies instead of introverted personalities. You can be a homebody and inner body, and it does not relate to the topic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll read that.
All right.
Because after this, we have two more rights. One is a sound cloud, and then the other one will be read. So let me get this opened up. Okay, this is by Fountain Pen, and let me see. Pick the last quote. Which one was that? I'm looking in my folder here.
Prompt number 8.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, no, okay. People who feel deeply, live deeply, and love deeply are destined to suffer deeply. And this is by Fountain Pen. It is called If We, by Chance, or by Some Supreme Power. If we, by chance or some supreme power, could admit to spring a lasting flower, it'd be the heart with emerald, gem-like sepals, that every season could nurture the petals. We'd wish it grow stronger along the harsh hours, to give more fragrance and stunning colors, and can admire stars and moon's lovely chatter, that all night's shades will have to matter. It would be a magical pendant you wear, that in presence of sun's golden candles it will flare. Such privileges would win it more and more sense. It's hard to deny as the pain is intense. End song.
Yes. Yeah, I like this one a lot. I thought there was very much beauty in the words of his poem. I think that to me it speaks of the mask that most of us wear to hide the pain we're in. Past demons are always nipping at our heels, but we still put on that smile and go about our days. I definitely thought this was an excellent write, and congrats on the bronze. He was a bronze winner.
Yeah.
Raz, what did you think?
Yeah, this poem speaks of nature's everlasting power to go on and proceed throughout all seasons. Although our lives are temporary, we are not humbled by her greater beauty nor infinite potential, because at last, being mortal, what more do we have but these few moments while she's existed for millions of years? So if there's an answer to the poet's riddle, it's simply because we don't have that much time to admire something far more greater.
Crystal, what do you think?
I love that the metaphor that they use, like talking about the heart being of emerald and gems and different flowers and colors and stuff. I love that they went in that direction, and it does kind of put in perspective of like that mask that we wear, where we think that we're like, oh well, we have this thing of beauty all around us, and we may, like the quote says, we may love things and try and do our best in life, but we're still going to have that pain, a little bit of suffering inside of us that a lot of the times as introverts, we don't always like want to talk about with just anybody. We want to talk to with somebody close. And but yeah, I like the metaphor that they use, though. I love that in this about the different gems and colors and things. I think it's just a beautiful and really moving poem.
Excellent comment. What did you think, hon?
Oh, yeah. I thought this was a lovely write. It definitely, I like the quote that he chose because he's the only one who picked that one.
Yeah.
So I like that the rights that come in for these shows when they pick one that nobody else picked, because it gives its own fresh perspective to it. The write itself, I felt, had its own calm nature to it, but also speaking, in its own way of maybe hoping to see love come to fruition and wishing for calmness within to give life some more meaning and peace with all the beauty that's around us. Because, what Crystal said, that's very true. a lot of us, we can't just talk to anybody. And if anything, we shut down around a lot of people. And to have those special ones that you can talk to and just let them in, that's needed. It's a must, because you can't close yourself off completely. You got to have somebody, at least one, as I always say, or as they joked in Family Guy, everybody gets one.
Spider-Man.
I feel that's very true. You need at least somebody to be able to talk to trust, to confide in, to make the days a little bit more better. It's a very beautiful rite.
Yes, indeed.
I'm going to let you read this one, because the last one is the sound.
Okay. I will read this one from Stories Untold. And this is called, I Make Every Day How I Would Like Tomorrow to Be. No yesterdays hold me back. This, I wake with a smile to create a day anew, searching for the special moments only we can do. I let not yesterday take away my newfound joy all the while, as I create a today is your day, and I wrap it with a smile. I keep positive, for to do otherwise makes me sad. I search out others who are in dance, my newfound fad. You see, we choose our forward steps, so look not back. For as we live and be ourselves, it keeps us on a positive track. If one can think one way, they too can think in a positive way. For positivity gives oneself a most loving embrace. It is something all that are about you can never do. You see your life filled with love and compassion is up to you. So wake and embrace yourself. Feel the joy flow out from within. Allow your shadow you have held down to dance once again. Know we each can create our own world and allow our light to shine. And draw those who think the same, feel the same. Follow your light. End poem. And the quote written too is, I am an old soul. I love genuine kindness. I love compassion. I love poetry. I love soul connection. I love old books. I love deep conversations. I love depth. I love rawness. I thought this was well done. Live today. Yesterday is gone, and tomorrow isn't guaranteed. Kay and I try to live that way all the time. Unfortunately, sometimes ghosts do come to haunt, but we do our best to dispel them quickly. I thought that this poem, simply put, is words to live by. And this is an excellent rite. Raz, what did you think?
Yeah, this is a power read, one that will motivate you to try and seek out positive energy rather than neglect one's time with all that's dark and negative. Here, rather than facing the mistakes of the past, one is asked to look at all you have going for you today and to actually draw the light from that realization.
Excellent comment. And Crystal, what do you think?
Yeah, I love the positivity in this. As mostly everybody knows that I try and do that all the time. Because like a couple of years ago, I kind of lost all that positivity, all that hope, and then I just one day realized I was like, I need to get out of this funk. I need to get like out of this depression, because like that line says, I keep positive to do otherwise it makes me sad. That was me. I was like, if I just keep being this way, nothing is going to be all right. Like, we're in life, we got to enjoy life to the fullest, because we never know what may happen. So like, you got to find the hope, you got to find the light, you got to find the positivity in everything that you do. Even if I saw a quote or some kind of thing the other day was saying like, say you start walking, trying to walk down the stairs, and then you end up falling down the stairs, and you tell yourself, well, I just went down faster. So that's the way that's the way you got to look at it. That's the way you got to look at life.
Awesome comment. What did you think, hon?
Well, yeah, that is a great comment, because they wrote to the old soul quote. And I think what they brought is very great. You know, for all these rights tonight, a lot of great conversation and insight. I like how they ended it. No, we each can create our own world and allow our light to shine and draw those who think the same, feel the same, follow your light. Because, yeah, it does adhere, as you said, to how we live. Because, as I said in my comment, years ago, I was in extreme depths of my depression where I almost had one foot in the grave and the other in the existing life. But somehow I was able to shake myself back to reality and pick up those pieces. Because back then I couldn't see the silver lining of life. Even though I had a lot of great things, I couldn't see it. All I saw was the sorrow. But these days, I see differently now. And, you know, this right definitely speaks to, as what you said and what everybody said, that you do have to follow your light. You do have to live each day as if it was your last. Just try to make the best of every day. Because the thing is, as I get older little by little, and I see all these different changes coming in, you know, right now, with all the death and illness that have been in our personal life too, it kind of makes you realize even more that you should stop wasting time and just embrace the good, embrace every day, do what makes you happy because you never know. This is a very beautiful ride, it is. I just love what they brought. It's great all around.
Life, what are you waiting for?
Yes.
Yes.
Sometimes you sit on your thumbs and you waste it.
Yeah.
And then it's gone. Okay.
All right. Do we have a SoundCloud for the last one?
Yes, I'm going to drop this down and then I'm going to get this SoundCloud up. Okay. Now let me run. Do this.
I like the title.
Yeah. How did you put this in? Oh, I see it. Never mind. I got it. Richard Fairchild?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Here I go.
Here I lie, I'm lost in deep dark thought, escaping to my own pure private place, where I am truly free, solace sought, hiding from a world I cannot face, diving, plunging in my blue, blue ocean, splashing in a sea of deep emotion. Here I sit, in my own company, private holder of my stock of thoughts. Ideas exchanged within me comfort me. My mind's security is sold and bought. I realize at last no magic potion can dim my senses, empathy, emotion. Here I stand. It's time to face the world. People passing by me stop and stare, but I will take it on with flag unfurled. Time to face them all without a care. Time to share my empathy, emotion. My stilted silence is a suntan lotion.
End poem. This was from Rich F., and the title was "Silence is a Suntan Lotion." I just really, really like that title. I thought I was looking at his author's notes too a little bit before I commented, because I was often referred to as the shy one when I was younger too. So, and it upset me so much that I pushed myself to the point of being called the social butterfly. But now I'm happiest when it's just me and Kay home by ourselves. As for the title and the end line, I feel that he's saying that silence is protection, and that is also something I can relate to as well. I thought this was an excellent write. Raz, what did you think?
Yeah, was that really his voice? Because that sounded a bit like Davy Jones from the Monkees. That was an automated voice on the SoundCloud, right? Or Richard Fairchild. Well, I'm not going to make fun of an accent if it's completely Irish or British, but the poem, it speaks actually, the message I received was completely the opposite. Why the suntan lotion? It's not a resistance to the sunlight, but so much that you're casting aside society in so many ways that you're only darkening yourself So if you don't speak your mind, if you don't go around trying to formulate your own thoughts, at least establish a stable psychology to process the real world, all that's becoming of you is drawing more into the shadows. And why the suntan lotion? Why the resistance to at least accepting that the sun even comes out during the day? Why this more blackening tone rather than accepting life simply for what it is and all that you can process from that is what I hear in Fairchild's poem.
Excellent comment. What do you think, Crystal?
Yeah, I was reading his author's note too. One, I really did like his accent, his voice, but I was reading his author's notes too. I was like that where I was often actually bullied for being shy and introverted and always like deep in thought rather than talking to everybody else and all the kids I was supposed to talk to and stuff like that. So I totally understand that. And I think that you should push yourself to make friends, to talk to people and stuff, but I think that you need to do it in an environment that you're comfortable with. Because as far as from my experiences, like if I have been in one place where I'm just not comfortable at all, I don't want to push myself. But if it's somewhere that you're like, oh, well, I really like let's say if you like to read, go to a library or a bookstore, you can see somebody picking up a book you like, start talking to them or something because it's going to be something you're comfortable with. And then again, you may not want to do that. But yeah, I also like his title, the suntan lotion. That's an interesting thought. I never thought of that before. But yeah, I thought this was great.
Awesome comment. Fun. You get the honor of the final comment of the night.
Yeah, I thought this was a great write. And I'm glad that he did give permission because, his write, it definitely speaks to certain things that both you and I can relate to. The fact that, growing up when I was in school, I was bullied greatly, where I dreaded going to school. I really did because, things weren't great at home. Things were crappy at school, so I had no happy medium anywhere. So it's like you got to have somewhere good to go. And when you don't, what do? It's, sometimes you kind of do go into your own shell when you get picked on a lot and you become more withdrawn, you get a little bit more shy. And I can understand that because I was greatly quiet, especially when I was a kid, because, what everybody showed me, it's like, why should I bother talking? But the thing that I found was about 5 years ago when I started to pick up the pieces again. Little by little, I was also doing what his right says. I was pushing myself to do new things. I was pushing myself in areas that were outside of my comfort zone because I found that by doing that, I've made some good friends. I challenged myself in ways that I didn't think I had possible in me. So sometimes when you do step outside of comfort zone, you're actually freeing yourself too, because even though you might feel scared, you're also probably doing something very good for yourself too by furthering yourself in ways that bring you more happiness. Because who knows what's on the other side? You have to push yourself sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's the best thing you could have done. I like his write all around. I love the read, and I'm really happy he's here now. Because I just got that a few days ago. I appreciate that as well. But I love to write all around. While a lot of us were out and about every day and we're putting ourselves in situations that are outside of our comfort zone, it still is nice as well to go into that private place of your mind to find solace. He brought this together in such a great way with everything he said. It's a great write, and I'm glad that he brought this down. And thank you for sharing it for tonight.
Yes. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff. Awesome sauce. That's awesome sauce. I like that.
Yeah.
Do you want to do? Yeah, I was just saying. You want to do acknowledgments?
Yeah, I got my phone. Sorry.
It's all right. It's okay. I see it's still alive.
It's still alive, yeah. Okay, I just want to see.
Why doesn't Victoria do the acknowledgments for you?
We could ever do that. Then she's asleep again, though.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Okay, I just want to say to the people who called, who all did reach to, Raz, Wayne, Stephen.
You and I both call together.
So, yeah, I know. I put it on my list of everybody who called, who was on the board, and who we had right.
You should say thank you to yourself then, too.
Okay, I'll say thank you to me. And then I will say from everybody else that contributed, everyone won. Farouk Hassan, thank you for the SoundCloud. Colab, CRL17, Joseph Moon, Kaya Spruce, Heaven the Angel, JEG325, Glow Lizzie, Jasperian, Fountain Pen, Stories Untold, and Rich S. as well. And thank you for SoundCloud. And thank you, everybody who participated in the show.
All right.
Did you want to ask Crystal about this?
Crystal. What was that, Raz? I'm sorry.
A slice of heaven, a poetic slice of life.
Yes. There you go.
I've said that in the past. I like combining those two associations that you have your slices there, going one side for heaven and the other for life.
Yeah, awesome. I like that too. That's pretty cool. Crystal, do you have any shows coming up you want to plug?
I do have my Team of Voices show next Wednesday. I'm not quite sure what it is yet. I do know I'm probably going to make it a game or some kind of fun show, so just stay tuned for that.
Cool. Sounds cool. All right, and as for Poetic Slice of Life shows coming up tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern, we have our Movement of Sound, and we're featuring poems written to Alice in Chains song. The contest is filling out nicely there. It's actually going to be closing shortly, I think.
Yes, you are.
Yes, and then Saturday night is The Duality of Love's Heartbeat. We have quotes to write to for that, both happy love quotes and dark love quotes. And that's at 7 p.m. Eastern as well. Then next week, Tuesday night, by request from Phil the Poet in the Mortuary of Shadows, we are doing Salem's Lot, both the book and miniseries, the 1979 miniseries, book written by Stephen King, and the miniseries starring David Soul.
And Bonnie Bedelia.
And Bonnie Bedelia, yes, from Die Hard. And it's 10:30 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
And then next Wednesday is Her Beauty, the Poetic Inklings, tentatively at 7 p.m. Eastern.
It might change on
It
Fridays,
might change,
depending on your work schedule.
depending on my work schedule.
Yeah.
And we have quotes, mainly speaking of a woman's inner beauty.
Yeah, her strength, her intelligence, not just the looks, but what you see from what she exudes on the inside that she brings out.
And we're still up in the air on next Thursday, yes.
Well, we're going to figure that out tonight, but yeah, last night we created our topic board for next Tuesday and next Wednesday, so we'll get it hammered out by tomorrow what next Thursday is about.
Yes. And that's all I got.
That's all you got, Fred.
So good night, and thank you, Crystal. Thank you, Raz, for hanging out with us to the end.
The Walking
Appreciate
Dude's
it.
not Stephen King, but really Randall Flagg. How do I know?
Randall Flagg, yes.
Yeah.
The Walking Dude. Rub-a-dub-dub. Thanks for the grub.
Exactly. Just as long as you're not in a heap of trouble, boy.
Oh, that's my favorite part.
I know.
I love that part.
I know.
There was a man behind us inside of the mirror. You take old Sally Joe. He was just staring at me behind the rearview mirror.
Yeah, he was smiling.
Out of Braintree.
We will. I promise you, we will do the stand.
Yeah.
So we will.
Yeah.
I think I can manage a poem for that book. That's one of my favorite classics by Stephen King. It's really an epic story of the end of the world. I don't think it's anything outside of the Bible has really tried to describe the kind of struggle there would be between the darkness and the light if there was a final battle. The apocalypse, the way it's written in Revelations. There's nothing else out there like that book.
I agree. I actually have 3 or 4 poems that I wrote about Randall Flagg in my list of poems, but to find them would be difficult. They're like a needle in a haystack.
No, I'm sure you can find them because for some of them you put a picture of like Randall Flagg on there, so you'd be able to look if you just look through your links. You'd be able to find it.
Yeah. Maybe I'll read them all when we do this thing.
I don't know.
No,
We need
I
help
know
with
I'd
the
be
poet,
thinking-
reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Ready to play us out?
Yeah, I will play us. I will play us out.
All right.
Sorry.
And again, good night, Crystal. Good night, Raz. Thanks for hanging with us.
Yeah.
Take it easy.
Good night, Steve. Good night, Kay. Good night, Miss Hope.
Good night.
Good night.
Yeah, gonna hit it.
Hit it.
Hit it.
I did unmute so we can say goodnight to the world, for the whole world. I don't believe Crystal. She ain't going to bed.
Like, we're not going to bed anytime soon. But yeah, I just wanted to say, excuse me, good night to everybody, and thank you for all the people who did listen in, and for everybody's participation, especially for everybody who participated tonight with their rights and the SoundClouds, and for hanging out on the phone with us.
Yeah.
And as always, I hope that you like what you heard, and you continue to listen. And we'll see you tomorrow for Movement of Sound.
Yes, indeed. Maybe I won't be such a smart aleck tomorrow.
We'll see.
But I can't guarantee. Good night, everybody.
Good night.